Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back with you for the Patron Q&A, and it's Halloween edition. We're going to be taking questions from the patrons here today. And I said last week, if you're wearing a costume, I'll pick you up first. I'm giving preferential treatment to anybody in a costume. Me, I'm Count Padula. Ooh, very spooky. I have so many costumes around from. I'm a regular Mike Bloom now from the RHAP traders that we've done. I don't even know if I ever wore this in any RHAP traders, but I'm like, I'm Bloom. I'm Survivor Devil. A throwback. Okay. So many things to talk about here after we have finished the pre-merge, we think, for Survivor 49. We're here to talk about it all with you after a fun couple of podcasts talking about everything from where we are, where, dare I say, business has started to pick up here in Survivor 49. And so we'll talk about it all here with you. And I will see so many of you coming up this week as, believe it or not, I don't know if I'm still over in New York yet, but I am going back on the road to San Francisco coming up, and I'll be flying Monday night as we get ready after a busy Halloween weekend. Let me welcome in here with us. It's Derek. Derek, our patron experience manager. Here he is, Cowboy Derek. Yeehaw!
Howdy, TGIF, everyone.
TGIF, that's right. Derek, what's going on? You ready for San Francisco?
I'm very ready. I'm very excited.
Derek's driving to San Francisco.
I will be. I'm doing a little road trip. You're gonna have a lot of time to catch up on podcasts I'm behind on. It's very exciting. I really liked this week's Survivor episode. Rob, do you think that they hid Sophie the entire beginning of the season just so that she could have her coming out this week to say, I'm the new Sophie with Alex?
No, I don't think so. Interesting.
To me, it almost felt like a bit.
Yeah, I could see that. I saw a fun tweet. I'm the Sophie now of the what is it, Captain? What was it, Captain Phillips?
I missed the tweet. I haven't been on the Twitter in a while.
What is it? Okay. Anyway, so Derek, what's on your mind?
We have two. There's a lot of patron events going on next week, and I want to shout out two things that were just added to the patron calendar. This is a choose your own adventure, so don't get overwhelmed. I know we have a lot of options.
I have to figure out my calendar for Tuesday in San Francisco.
Yeah, well, and there are some things that you
should I stay in my hotel room and podcast all day, or should I venture out?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, Rob. The world is your oysters, as they say.
Okay, they pull them up.
Yeah,
is what they say.
Pull
them up or bag them up. What do you want?
Pull them up or bag them up. That's an amazing race right there. But yeah, we have a patron reached out who is working on the national tour for the Stereophonic show and can help patrons get some discounted tickets if you're interested in that. Just check out the calendar of events. Let Amy know. And then Miles Nye is going to be doing some games on Tuesday before the patron event. That was just added to the calendar. So check out the Discord or the calendar for information on those things. And otherwise, I'm going to be all over the place, and I'm looking forward to seeing people next week in San Fran.
Okay. All right. Derek, great job. We'll see you soon, okay? Okay.
Have a great Friday, everyone.
Okay, take care. Bye. All right. Thank you, Derek. Okay, let's pick up some of our costumed players, and let's go to May. May, so spooky.
I don't know if you can hear me, Rob.
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm in a trader's mood because there's so much traders happening.
You need to paint that gold, but that is like very traders adjacent.
Yes, gold or silver, depending on the franchise.
Yeah.
How's it going, Rob?
It's going well. Why? Do you want to talk about one of the international seasons of the traders?
I mean, this is a Survivor pod, so
This is a Survivor pod. Yeah, I am myself. I've been doing a good job of keeping up with all of my international traders, alumni, for the most part. But I tend to catch up over the weekend, so I am behind on. I hear it has been a fun week of traders across the world, but I have not caught up yet on all the episodes 7 and 8 from Celebrity UK and episode 2 from Canada.
Yeah, I'm an early riser, so I get on it pretty quickly.
Yes, I love that for you.
Yes. I did see the episode this week, and this is only my second time calling in, but I wanted to let you know I got back into Survivor because of the diversity initiative. And I actually went back and rewatched a lot of the podcasts from that time. And, I think Bryce and Wen did a lot of work doing that. And it struck me, seeing the shakeup back to 3 tribes. I was like, Jawan's the only black guy. So we had a moment of like, it better not be Jawan. It just doesn't look right. So I mean, I'm thankful for the Shannon and Sage kind of situation. But that was in the back of my head when I saw how things shook out.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the compliment on way back when. I think I did a lot of podcasts. Bryce and Wendell were part of the people that actually were doing work and talking with the show. And so, look, I think that it's okay if I think that we had that all the black players made the merge or made the jury for the first time ever in a season. Like, hey, sometimes the black people are going to get voted out. I mean, they're on the show. It's, I don't think that it would be an issue of Jawan being targeted. I don't know what's in the hearts of the players, but look, I think it's, we're going to like level the playing field and then let them play.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's there, which is awesome. I mean, don't bring up the merge with Bryce. I mean, they always bring up that he's never seen the merge, but But yeah, that's just something that we thought of. My partner and I watch sometimes together. I sometimes tell him to be quiet because he, stresses me out because I have to explain so much. But it's okay. The diversity initiative is also happening in my home.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else going on, May?
Well, I'm just getting ready for trick or treating. This is my my costume for this pod, but I have a family friendly one also.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So
that is
family friendly. My Daniel Tiger reveal.
Yes. Okay. Well, as a OG Mr. Rogers stan, I approve anything Daniel Tiger.
Yeah. Same here. Well, thanks, Rob. Have a great evening and have a great night of calls.
Okay. Thanks, May.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay. Let's go to. Let's see. Elisa looks like she's got a costume. Okay. Elisa, how are you?
I'm doing great. Hold on. There's one more piece of so this piece of bread is part of the costume as well. Yes. Rob, for the record, I don't think you would know what I am at all. So I'm just going to.
Yeah, I was going to say that is what is this?
Okay, so for the unassuming, you probably just think I'm like trying to cosplay or appropriate as a French person with bread. Yes. But there is a very specific video game called Expedition 33, and I am a character named Lune who this video game, everyone has a costume where they basically wear this and they hold bread, and that's what I am today. So.
And this is one of your favorite games, Expedition 33?
This is not the hottest take, but this is the best game of 2025, wow. Rob.
What
the best game of 2025. I'm playing on PlayStation.
PlayStation. Okay.
Yes, this is absolutely blows everything out of the water. One of the best RPGs I've ever played.
Okay. Could I be getting Dominic and Anthony to play it?
Oh boy. They would not. I don't think they would enjoy this.
Too complicated?
Not too complicated, but I just think they won't enjoy this plot until maybe Dominic reaches high school.
Okay.
Yeah, this is there's definitely some serious, a lot more serious elements to this that would not, I don't know, just would not be for just young kids.
Yeah, I could get into a game if I felt like that it was something that had like a plot and a story. They're just like stealing the brain rot.
Yes.
And I don't like that. It's very boring to watch that.
I know and understandably, just with their age, I think that RPGs and in general aren't necessarily popular amongst their group. They want to play with each other. They just want to do the 6-7. They just want, they just want to do all of the brain rot stuff. Yeah. But I think in their indoctrination of video games, when they start really getting into plots and storylines, I feel like that's what happens in high school when who knows, maybe Dominic's going to get into Zelda or get into more of these RPGs.
Maybe I'll try to see if I can push that on them. They're always talking about admin abuse. Do you know what that is? You ever hear about that?
Oh man, what does that even mean? I'm scared to know what that means.
It seems like they get a lot of free brain rot when there's admin abuse, and then they crash out if we have to do anything where it's like, that's admin abuse.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
I don't like this talk of admin abuse.
Yes. Wow. I've never heard of that before, and I don't think I ever want to be called that when I'm playing a game with people.
Yeah. Anthony was complaining that admin abuse tomorrow is like at 5 a.m. because of people in Australia. I'm like, well, we're not waking up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday to do admin abuse.
For sure. This is why I don't play with friends, Rob. This is why I play video games by myself.
Okay. But what do you want to talk about, Elisa?
Okay. So I want to
come see you in person.
Yes, before you come next week. I have just two quick thoughts. First thought is merge boot. I unfortunately feel like, even though I love this character, I think the merge boot's going to be Jawan, and I'm curious who you're predicting to be the merge boot.
Merge boot going to be Jawan. Interesting. I think I made my unofficial prediction. It's so interesting. I was talking about this with Marianne, fun podcast with Marianne. I think that we are headed towards potentially like a Kagion-esque merge where that we could have these two big sides. And I don't know, I had a bold take that I feel like, could it be Nate?
That's interesting because Nate was set up in such a way where because he wasn't being truthful to Sophie and Alex, they were clocking that. And I don't think, as a person who loves Nate, I agree that he didn't play his card well in the tribe swap. The only thing otherwise.
Why do you feel like he didn't play his card well?
I think that it's okay. It's okay for him to lie because obviously you want to just make sure that you're in with this new tribe that you're swapping with. But I think that it's a little bit too obvious if two yellow people are voted out. It's just, you can't.
Yeah.
How else are you going to word that? If I think obviously it is red versus yellow, but if he was just honest, he was just the last. He was just kind of the last yellow.
Right. I think buying that where Nate's
exactly.
Like, oh man, I wanted to keep Jason. A freaking risk god is running everything.
Yeah, exactly. I think
he's so good, that kid.
I think to that point,
he's our leader.
He's our leader. I think a better play, although I don't know what the dynamic is, especially because Christian and Sophie seem to also have a little bit of a beef of just who's the decoy and who's not. I think a better play would have been being honest, but then what Nate said is, hey, Matt was targeting me, therefore I had no choice but to vote him out. If he put someone else under the bus from Red of just, just this was the target, Savannah said this, and then it's like Nate is being somewhat truthful, but then he also threw someone else's Red name under the bus, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then also my last point, just because I know Bobby is called in. So Bobby, a couple weeks ago, he called in and he said that I'm saying Bobby, and this might not be the right person, but he said, I think what Bobby said was Sophie B is not going to win Survivor.
Yes, he did not like the move that was made by Sophie B when she sided with Alex instead of.
Got it.
Is that Bobby? Is this accurate?
Yes. Okay. So I couldn't be on the podcast that episode, but I remember just listening to the episode thinking, "Oh my god!" But Sophie is totally going to win Survivor. I don't know what Bobby.
She has knowledge is power.
She has the knowledge is power now. I don't see what's going. I don't see what's going to happen. But then, along with having the knowledge is power, I hate to say it, but after this week's episode, I have to somewhat agree with Bobby.
Oh,
I know. So now I've turned a new leaf.
Victory lap for Bobby.
I've now turned a new leaf that I agree with Bobby. And the only reason, even though she has the knowledge is power, is I think that Sophie for sure is going to make it far because I think the Savannah and Riz God alliance is pretty is going to be visible, and Savannah and Riz are going to be more visible than Sophie. So I think
they're going to be very visible, I think,
yeah,
for a while.
Super visible, but Sophie is number 4 basically to Savannah, Nate, and Riz God. So I don't doubt that she's going to make it far, but at the same time, I doubt Sophie and Alex are going to meet back up. I don't think it's going to be a Malcolm and Denise situation. I think they've chosen their tribe lines, and I think also I just don't see. As long as she plays the knowledge is power correctly, that is a move. But I don't know. I just edit wise, I just think a lot of her, she's more behind the scenes and just I don't see her making the move, I guess.
See, I think that there is a scenario. I think that Nate is a person I think could go home, but I do think that if it ends up working out for Uli, where an Uli person doesn't go home, I think it will be because Sophie B pulls Alex over and is like, hey, I've got a good thing going on over here. Trust me. Maybe she even tells him that she has knowledge is power. Maybe she like shows like, you're the only person I'm showing this. You're my number one. Come with me. Like, we're going to take over this whole thing. I've got knowledge is power. We'll steal this idol. And he's like, oh, okay, that sounds good. Like, he doesn't have a number one. Like, he just seems like he's like goes along with whatever.
Yeah, what's nice about Alex is he's ingratiated himself in a fluid way where everyone seems to like him.
Likeable guy.
A super likable guy. And it's just interesting because even though Alex and Sophie are the last two standing and they'll have that kinship no matter what, they were also targeting each other. So I just don't know if they're just completely divided.
I don't think Alex was ever targeting Sophie, but Sophie, and I don't think that Alex knows Sophie B would have targeted him if he didn't play his idol.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I just think Sophie's probably like a 5th placer. I don't know if she's going to make it to the end.
All right. Well, Elisa, I will see you soon. Okay.
I will see you soon, Rob. I hope you have a great Halloween.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. All right. Let's get to Angie. Angie.
How are you?
Yes. Good. How are you?
I'm good. Dressed up for Halloween at work.
Yes. Okay. Now you have a Wicked Witch hand.
Yes. Elphaba.
Yes.
I didn't do my face because I think that would be too much.
That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Are you?
It's a lot for the office.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right? Okay. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I work with seniors and they love it. So
they love it. Yes. Okay. So what's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I'm happy with finally getting satisfied on Wednesday with I repeated that scene like many times. And I saved it so I can enjoy it later in life too. But no, it was good. I'm so happy with how it ended up turning out. So I guess it was worth edging.
I'm happy it reached a satisfying conclusion.
Yes. But it was really good. I do agree with you that, I mean, I don't know if you did mention this, but with Steven, he said that like it seemed like Shannon was very genuine with like she wanted to work with Sage, but I don't think it was really genuine. Like I feel like Savannah was the number one.
Yes, it seemed like that when there were other options. Okay, I don't want to work with Sage so much, and then when it was okay, this now is more conducive to working with Sage. Yes, I want to work with Sage. So I do feel like that Shannon's, what Shannon's motivations are does seem to be something that is a little flexible.
Yes, that's what I thought. And I like a chameleon almost, like Mystique or something. Like she can blend very nicely.
That'd be a good costume.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. For but
yes, but what's that? Oh
Mrs.
yeah, that's true. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But definitely agree with that. And I'm happy that Sage did it. And I think it was a good move. Like I mean, because Shannon was too in with so many groups, like she can, right? And likable in some way, but I'm glad that Sage caught onto her and then got her out. And I think it's puts her in a good position, personally. Because I think she's still a lone wolf in some way.
I'm a wolf,
she could be like, she could be like the Ali Gabler person, but a likable one. I'm sorry, but if that's her only move and she still gets to win, I would actually be happy with that one compared to like Gabler. But that's
I think she
my
needs a bigger
point.
move than that, but it was a good start for a Sage.
But
I don't think Sage is going to win, but I think that she's going to be a memorable character.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And now I'm like, okay, I'll go watch your blackheads if you still have them. I'll look at that jar. But okay, that's pretty much it. I have to run back to work or fly back to work.
Angie.
So
all right, take care.
Okay,
bye. Yeah, do you think that Sage will do cameos and show the jar of blackheads on Cameo? Okay, I don't know. Let's see who else is here. Okay, let me go to Nathan H. It looks like he's wearing an uncomfortable mask. Nathan.
Hello.
Nathan, yes, the Blue Ranger.
Yes, 90s throwback.
Yes. How are you?
Good. First time calling in, so glad to make it in.
Yes, okay. Well, thank you for putting in the effort of wearing the costume.
Yeah. And excited to have you here in SF next week. So excited.
Yes, I saw on Patreon that we posted we made a post of here's everything you need to learn about coming to San Fran, and people were up in arms like, do not call it San Fran. We don't do that.
Yeah, SF is usually the preferred out of
the. I hope, Derek, have we changed that? Have we fixed it yet? Due to the mass outrage from the patrons unsubscribing in mass. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, we'll work on that. We won't call it that.
But yeah, main question I had for you, I was thinking during leading up to the tribal where Sage went back to Jawan, and I got very nervous that Jawan was not going to believe Sage, that Shannon was targeting him, right? With just having Steven and Sage, they could have taken out Shannon without bringing Jawan and going back. Mm-hmm. So I'm just curious your thoughts there, right? And then obviously he would see that Shannon had voted for him, right? And like, I protected you versus potentially ruining that blind side.
Yes. Okay. So could you just repeat for me? Like, I understand what you're saying. What's the question?
I guess I'm curious, like, did you see that risk at all? And like, would you have taken that option to just go with Steven, potentially blindsiding Jawan, but then kind of saying, hey, like she was targeting you. I just wasn't sure if you would believe me.
So we're letting Jawan vote for Steven?
Yes. Right.
What's in it for Steven to do this?
Fair. I mean, he would have the ability, but he also saw Shannon on the previous tribe as well. So like knew she was a shark and still kind of saving himself.
I don't think that Sage is that type of player where it's that she is thinking about it like, okay, well, like, let's put our 2 votes here and we'll let her vote there. And then this other vote will go there. And then like, she's like, with all due respect to Sage, I just don't think that she's somebody who is like playing the mastermind game. I think that she is somebody who cares deeply about relationships and is like, hey, this is a chance to, beat cards up with Jawan, win over his trust, continue to build this bond with Steven that she had from when she swapped to that tribe. So I think that is a move that somebody could have made, but I don't think that that's a move that Sage is going to make.
Fair. Yeah. Based off the edit, I didn't think they were going to flip it back on Sage, but that was my worry in the lead up that it could have just.
But I really do think that the interesting question to ask was, had Shannon stuck with, no, Steven has to go. It's all about Uli. Would Jawan have said, hey, listen, I got to stick with the numbers. I'm going to listen, Savannah is going to be so mad at me if I don't vote with Uli on this vote. I don't want her to yell at me again.
Cool. Yeah, that was my main question. So I just want to check in and we'll see you next week.
Okay. Thanks, Nathan. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. All right. Let's go and say hi to, I know Bobby's been waiting so patiently. Bobby, how are you?
Hi, Rob.
Bunny Bobby.
I guess, yeah. I was told to get a costume, so
yes.
I found these.
Yes. Okay. Well, you know what? This must be not that fun for you because
that's
Bobby,
what I said.
Everybody else is like, "Oh, Halloween! I get to wear a costume." Bobby's like, "I wear a costume 364 days out of the year. Let me live."
Every day, I know. This is actually my favorite day. I on like the committee to do events for our team and everything, and the Halloweeny roast, I cook the Halloween hot dogs for the whole parades team, and it's like hundreds and hundreds of hot dogs, but it's so fun. I get to grill and I get to kick all the men off, and they're like, you don't know how to use a grill, and I'm like, I do, get away from me.
You're a grill master.
Yeah, and then everyone comes up to me and they're like, you look so good grilling, and I'm like, thanks.
Do you have a special costume you wear at the grill?
No, I'm wearing my my Dead Waltz Society 2022 shirt with my little Dead Waltz skeleton Mickey.
Okay.
But all right. That's it.
But Bobby, we digress. Let's talk about the Survivor.
Yeah, I thought exciting episode. I am like back in. I like didn't even finish the Jason episode. I thought it was so bad. I was just like, so I couldn't.
We're fickle, you know. Okay.
I'm fickle, but as the season goes on, I'm feeling more towards the characters, and that's the most important thing to me. Is I just want to have an emotional reaction every minute.
Yeah,
of the show.
Sage and Shannon story was really, really good. It just was like, to me, it was everything that Survivor should be about. That, okay, here are two people who they do not get along. Let's watch them try to coexist.
Yes, I think that's so funny. I just started a Borneo rewatch, and so Ramona just went home. I'm like, I haven't watched this in I don't even know how many years. But it's fascinating to hear like the word alliance for the first time on episode 4, versus like this was not an over gamey move, but I don't think this was a bad move for Sage at all. You're getting rid of someone who clearly doesn't respect you before the jury starts. I'm like, oh, joys, good choices, people making mistakes. I loved the conversation kind of was on Purple Pants podcast about like Sophie and how she should kind of expect to be the decoy name, even though that came up because she was the only white person there. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I wanted to see a little bit more there. And I'm just so excited for what is going to come. And I just can't believe I'm even saying it.
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
I boiled that down into like a sentence.
Yeah, I hadn't thought that through.
But,
you know,
yeah,
but I don't know. Again, maybe that's my naivete. I would think like original tribe lines trump.
Well, they had Alex, so it's a 2-1-1. It's just a little bit. It's not as easy to do the 3-1. Maybe interesting conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I don't know what like that to me was like. I mean, I would think that the guy who we didn't start with would be the more obvious decoy vote, but I'd have to listen to that conversation to get all of the particulars.
Yeah, I liked Bryce kind of just like threw it out there as like, is this an obvious in this quick pace game? Like, is that something that you can default to? And should you be afraid if people are defaulting to? I just thought that was really interesting. I don't know if this makes sense. I want to get a little bit more thorough, but I feel like the reason I said I don't think Sophie's going to win is I don't think what she's doing in the game is going to matter. And I tried to think about how I phrase that. And I think in my brain, there's like 3 types of players. There's like the posturers who want to be in the best position possible at all times. There's like infiltrators or like assimilators in my head. It's assimilating. And then there's observers. And so there's like Carolyn was an observer. You can see what's happening. You can narrate to us what's going on. And then like an infiltrator would be like Denise or Erica from 41 who like maneuvers through and then is celebrated for it. I think like 47 was like Sam was not celebrated for assimilating and making it to the end, right? We celebrated the posturing. And I think this season has a ton of posturers, which is why Sophie won't get celebrated and receive a vote. I think Sophie will be the runner-up. I feel like it's Savannah, Sophie. Yeah, Sophie B. Who the hell is the other Sophie? What are you talking about? And then Sage to me screams Ben Katzman. I don't know. No one's making this to me, but it's just like the person
who's Ben Katzman?
Rock and roll Ben. Sage to me.
Yes. Okay.
Big eyes, the most kissable person on the cast, probably. Like I just feel like this gentleness from them.
Yeah.
And even though
so many
she is
takes on us, Bobby.
I'm trying to figure out how to articulate.
Get around the assimilators, the infiltrators, and the observers.
Yeah, and I think like I love an observer. I think that's why Jenna Maraska's win is so important to me. Like she always knew what was going on, and it wasn't going to be celebrated until it was truly against an observer who didn't know what was going on. Because Mateo was not assimilating, he was not posturing. No. And even though Jenna did not either, really, I think she kind of postured a little bit, but she was less successful, but she knew what her observations were. And it's so rare that an observer wins the game. And I love them. That's the person I'm always drawn to. So think on that, ruminate on that, explore that idea with people. I'm really curious. You're like, absolutely not.
But I think I just need to see it written out. I think I need like a, make a YouTube video.
I'll figure out, make a PowerPoint.
Learner.
I'll make a PowerPoint if I can learn how to do that.
Yes,
and
so I could tell like the key differentiators of, if I maybe could see like some better examples. What am I? Am I an observer?
You're a posturer.
Posturer.
You have to make the best move at all times, or you like explode. You can't wait. You're like a Tevin. You have to get soda, even though it makes no sense. Like, because the option is there. I have to get rid of Dina. I have to get rid of Alex. I just think
I didn't have to get rid of Dina. I didn't have a choice.
You're telling me. You're telling me, Rob.
I couldn't have saved her.
Okay.
I mean, I could have, but I would have had to really.
Jenna was fighting so hard and had so much control. Jenna and Heidi could have thrown the game away.
It would have been very hard to save Dina because already she had Alex, Jenna, and Heidi all going against her, plus Matt and Butch, I think, also at that point. So there just weren't enough other votes of people that wanted to keep Dina at that point.
Okay, after my Borneo rewatch, I'll do another.
Yeah,
Amazon
rewatch. Tell me if I could have saved Dina. I don't think so.
Know.
I don't think so. Okay, I could have saved.
Okay, I gotta go.
It's Alex, I could have saved.
Yeah, you probably could have saved. Okay. All right. Bye, Rob.
Bye. All right. Let's go to. Okay. Liz appears to have face paint. Let's go to Liz. Liz. Okay. Are you a juggalo?
I am.
Yes. Okay.
You know me so well.
Yes. Okay. Is this just a costume, or are you a true juggalo?
Well, this is my makeup that I do every time.
Yes. Every year, or every time you go see the ICP?
Anytime. This is so bad. I haven't been to a concert. My husband has been.
Okay.
But I haven't. I was underage.
Are they still
when they
active,
came through.
the ICP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked him if he wanted to drive to Des Moines, Iowa to see them, and he was like, hell no.
Wow.
I'm not going to Iowa.
But they've got a real community, the ICP.
Yeah,
they are a true posse.
Family. It's real family.
It is a real family. Okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Liz,
so,
what's happening?
Not much. Just wanted to say hey, because like I have the makeup, might as well call in.
Right.
Because we have people coming over. So one thing I did have an observation from my husband. This was the first time this whole season that he's yelled at the TV.
Why?
And he
good yell or
was
bad
like
yell?
Bad yell. And it was,
Okay.
sorry, is this like crappy? It was at Rizzo.
perfect.
And he was like, how does this guy not understand how flippers work? And then why is he not walking backwards? And then why is he not doing this? And oh my God, now he took them off. He's not going to have any like flipper
Is your
abilities,
husband a
like,
snorkeler?
oh my God, he is so deathly afraid of the like open water. So we have snorkel gear. We do not go scuba diving, but he is not a fan, like if he can't touch. So he's done it, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
He does it, like he takes one for the team and does it for the family. Like,
okay.
If my 10-year-old daughter can do it, like, I guess I can jump off this boat.
I have to be honest, I don't think I would know how to use the fins or the snorkel equipment. I did get scuba certified when I lost on Survivor All-Stars. I went for scuba certification with Tina and Rudy and Richard Hatch. And Richard Hatch would scuba dive naked, which was a lot. And so I did get certified, but I don't remember wearing the big flippers. I don't think that was part of scuba.
Well, I mean, it helps, I think, like, I'm not like a huge ocean swimmer, but I think just in any current, having that fin just like will give you more power. You're not going to be as tired. But if you don't understand how to use them, like you're just going to wear yourself out. Yeah, if they aren't fitting right. But I mean, it just, I hope to see like them actually.
They named the episode after him, The Devil's Shoes.
Oh yeah.
Where are my shoes? I'm the devil.
I have little hobbit feet, so they're like fat and like I need like bigger ones and then they don't fit right. So I totally understand. They are the devil's shoes. Yeah, they're
the devil's shoes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
enjoy your Halloween. My husband's making loaded baked potato soup. Sorry, you're all missing out.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
that
good.
sounds fun. What is that? Like is that like a crock pot?
No, he does like a big stock pot thing on the stove. It's like 8 pounds of potatoes and a couple bags of carrots and celery and like hot sauce, and he cooks it for hours and friends come over. It's fun.
Yeah, it sounds like you really enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have fun.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Well,
have fun.
happy Halloween. Okay.
Happy Halloween.
Liz.
Take
Okay,
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Where are my other costumes here? Okay. Let's go to Mel Hooker. Mel. Yeah, you're me? Are you me?
Obviously.
Yeah. You're me on the night that Caitlin couldn't put the puzzle together?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your beard? What is that, tape?
It's honestly, bro. So I don't have any makeup really. So I was when I do weddings, I just wear fake eyelashes because like when you sweat, those can't fall off. So at first I tried like the eyelash black, it's like magnetic glue, and then it was starting to peel off my face. So I'm not kidding. This is just watercolor marker.
You drew marker.
Yeah, it's marker. I hope it comes off because I got a baptism tomorrow that I got to photograph. So,
Oh, Mel, you have a 5 o'clock shadow?
literally, like, I was like trying to oh, I wish I had like any type of makeup so I could like pat, some black stuff, maybe like, I don't know. But yeah, so this is what I mean, this was an off the cuff. I even got my little microphone here.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's a sock,
What do you mean you hate RJ? Or I hate RJP Halloween. What do you mean you're Rob calling in from the darkest timeline?
I mean, that's literally what I was like, what is the most stupid? So my question is, for the people that are newer like me and may not have been there, can you explain what happened? Why did you dress like this? Because this is like my normal getup.
So I loved Caitlin in Big Brother 20, and I thought that she was so fun, and she made the show so exciting, and I thought that she was such good TV and fun feeds and all of the things. And then she was on the block, and I think it was Sam's HOH, and she was on the block, and of course, famously, I don't know if Taryn talks about this in Behind the Mirror.
40 years now, and your Manta sleep mask.
Right. So she got evicted, but there was like a power in the house where whoever was going to get evicted was going to get the chance to come back in. And so that she got set up with production, obviously wanted to keep her. They had like the easiest puzzle in the world to do. It was a puzzle literally of herself. It was a 6-piece puzzle. And she just like brain fart, like could not put the puzzle back together, and she was gone.
Did you see like, six pieces?
What? It might have been 7.
Several? It was several. Yeah.
Yeah, and she couldn't do it. She had like 3 minutes.
That sounds terrible. Yeah. And
I was so mad. I was like, we were like, don't worry, Caitlin's getting evicted, but she'll be back. Don't worry. Don't sweat it. And it was like the easiest thing ever. And she biffed it.
Man, that sounds terrible. Well, thank you for explaining that lore to me, Mr. Cesternino.
You got it. And then Caitlin, we got to know her so well outside the podcast too.
Well, that's even better. I mean, what is going on?
So
what is going on reality TV now, if not to figure out how to make your million, even if you don't win? I may or may not be quoting a Shannon exit interview right there, but
she said that?
Oh, she did. So,
yes. Who'd she say that to?
I believe that was in the Mike Bloom interview. They say if you don't make the million by winning, you got to figure out how to make your million the other way.
So it seems like she's figured some things out, you're saying?
I don't know. Most people that I know that are extremely authentic don't go around talking about how authentic they are or how much they love everyone.
She's an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yep. Vibes, man.
Let's
go on vibes.
Yes. Okay.
Although I am going to a Halloween party and I'm going to be the shark that bit Richard Hatch.
Oh, I think going to be the
and then my husband's going to be
from Katy Perry.
Oh, well, no, but my husband's going to be Richard Hatch with a bite mark on him.
It's a deep pull.
I mean, I tried to find him like all nude clothes, you know what I mean? And he was like, bitch, I'm just going to wear regular clothes and you can put paint on your mouth and bite my shirt. And I was like, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Way to not commit. It's next door. Like,
yeah,
get a blanket. Come on.
Are they big Survivor fans? Will they get the reference?
I have no idea, honestly. Yeah. They could be, they could not be, but we'll see what happens. It's only gonna be like 20 people.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Mel, good luck with washing off my beard.
Yes, okay. Sir. Thank you for the Lord.
Take care. All right.
Happy Halloween.
Bye. Okay. Let me say hello to let's see, Daniel. Daniel, coming to you live from the turret.
Could be, or it could be. Its original intent was the Lord of the Rings Hobbit adventurer cloak. So, but we could adapt. We can adapt.
Okay. All right.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you, Daniel. You too.
I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller, a little bit nervous, but it's great to be on with you.
Great to be on with you too. Where are you calling from?
From New Jersey. So, I've been a little bit in the sort of Jordan Kalish, viewing Party World a couple times. So, not to name drop, but
yes.
Okay. Anyway, I was kind of like brainstorming some ideas with a friend last night, just talking about Survivor in its current form. We saw in this like last episode, Jeff was like, it was kind of played for laughs, but like he was kind of gassed out at the end of the challenge where he was kind of like leaning over and like, just like, it was like a little bit of like, I've never seen that the show like acknowledge Jeff's kind of humanity, his vulnerability in that way, and kind of, in the way that he's sort of like getting a little bit older. And I was like, we've seen some newer shows come up and make these sort of like, Traders Canada, for example, going on right now, Australian Survivor versus the World. And it just got me thinking about Jeff passing the torch and like what that would look like. And if that ever happens, is there someone out there who's producing TV right now that could create something that was like, in the Survivor world, that is the US Survivor world, that is kind of, that generates something shocking for us? Because I feel like right now we've got the family friendly Survivor, which Jeff really loves. And I don't know, it used to shock. I think there was like shocking moments in old Survivor that like, I'm like, can we get back to that? Is the power still there to shock us through Survivor?
First, I just want to make sure I'm following your line of questioning. Was part of your question that is Jeff going to pass the torch to another host, or can Survivor get back to its old form?
Yeah, it's sort of both, because it's like I feel like in its current form, Jeff has, as executive producer, as showrunner, as host, he has like, as the sort of head of casting, he's got like ultimate control over the voice and the tone of the show. And so it just was like, it just kind of got me thinking like, if he ever decides to retire, should Survivor still be on the air? Should he pass the torch to another showrunner, someone who has like fresher, newer ideas? Like, would we see something with those sort of old, shocking kind of human moments while still maintaining what I think has been a good direction that the show has taken in the new era as well, with some of the choices he's made?
So there's a lot of interesting things to unpack there. I do think as far as like Jeff showing how hot it is, I don't know if it's necessarily that Jeff is like so long in the tooth that he can't keep up anymore. I feel like that he has said on the On Fire podcast, like he intentionally, it was a choice for him to leave in. He told the editors, leave in anytime where I'm also struggling to keep my breath. Is he also playing it up? Because then this is also like, wow, you're not going to believe how hot it is. Even I'm having difficulty. And so I wonder if, like that's also just part of selling, that telling the story of how hot it is. As far as like, could Survivor go in some like deep, different direction. I think that really anything is on the table right now after the new ownership, where that Paramount was acquired by Skydance. And I think that we just don't know what the new powers that be at Paramount think of. There's been some like posturing about Survivor, Big Brother, Amazing Race aren't going anywhere. Could there be cost-cutting measures that force Survivor to go in some sort of like different direction? But I think that Jeff is so entrenched in what Survivor is. I think it would be hard for them. I don't believe he owns any part of Survivor outright. I believe it's still like Mark Burnett. But I don't know necessarily like if they wanted to say slash the budget for Survivor and hey, can you make it either make it for $2 million or we'll find somebody else who can. In that scenario, does Jeff want to stay where he's being really micromanaged and not being able to do it his way? I think that could be the scenario where you see new leadership at the helm. That being said, sort of like when you see like these big, and I'm trying to think of like what the right term is for this, and I'm not a super finance guy, but like where you have like these, I don't know if it's a hedge fund or where somebody like they buy Red Lobster and they're still running it like it's still Red Lobster, but they're just like, cutting. You may long for the days of Jeff Probst where it's like some stuffed shirt from, corporate person is just like greenlighting, what's going on some super low budget version of Survivor. It's like, hey, it's still Survivor, but it could be, people may wish for new leadership and may be sorry when they get it.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm necessarily wishing for it, but just like, it's just sort of brainstorming some ideas about, what could that future look like if that ever came to pass. I don't like your vision of it, of the corporate. But that's a possible.
Certainly. I do think that, I wish that there were probably more checks and balances in terms of that Jeff has seemingly complete creative control and, I think cares deeply, but then maybe doesn't always have like the best finger on the pulse of what the hardcore Survivor fan is looking for. But the thing I will say is that I feel like it always comes from a place of that they care. They may just not know what we want. Yeah. Private equity. Thank you, Erica, is what I was talking about. So we'll see what the future is. It seems like that their Survivor will continue to go on. What it looks like, I just, who's to say?
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking my call. I just want to say, like, real quick before I go off, you are the best at what you do. So I want to thank you for all these years of content that you've provided for me. I've been, like I said, a long time listener. So thank you.
That is super meaningful to me. Thank you so much for saying that.
Of course. Yeah. Happy Halloween. Have a great night.
Daniel. Okay,
bye.
Okay. All right. Let me go to, where's Maura? Okay. Here's Maura. Maura, how are you?
This is definitely a deliberate Rob costume, not a coincidence. It's not what I wear every day. So.
Okay. Are you me? You're me?
Sure. We'll go with that.
Okay. All right.
Plaid wardrobe.
I like to mix it up. I don't like being in a box.
You had your glow up. So am I allowed to do a comment and a question?
Of course, yes.
Okay. So I used to be a completionist with all of the podcasts and it became very, very stressful.
No, it's hard.
So
yeah.
Thank you for sort of I don't feel guilty about it. And there's enough content spread out that it's,
Yeah, think of it as we just put all the food out. It's a buffet. Eat, don't eat. When you're ready, it's there. Come back to it next week if you want. That's fine.
I'm a connoisseur instead. Very deliberate. It's just been a lot going on recently. So I really enjoyed the vote out. I think a lot of us did. Has there been another time where the person who was voted out was all like puppies and sunshine and rainbows, but a voter gave them the snub before?
I'm struggling to think of the time where, it is an interesting flip where it's typically where it's like, can I have a hug? Like, hey, you're a little man, coach. I'm trying to think of the time that's happened. Maybe the chat may know better than me.
Yeah, I'll hug you when I can mean it. I don't know if she can ever mean it for Shannon, but that was fun. And yes, I am also a new caller, so thank you for not making this too scary.
Okay, yeah, never. I mean, if you are somebody who is on the fence about calling in, please do. I love to hear from new people. I feel like, the recurring callers are wonderful, but it's such a thrill for me to talk to a person that it's like, oh, you were there with us the whole time? Yeah. And I didn't even know?
I might even call again someday. I was at a couple of the East Coast live shows and again, just got really nervous and afraid to integrate. But yes, I've done it. I can do it again.
Yes. Okay. So you had was that the comment or the question that we covered?
We did both. The question was the vote out. The comment was the, thank you. It's just
yeah. Okay. Well, Maura, thank you so much. And hopefully you will call back again.
Someday again. And maybe with the real costume even. So.
Okay. All right. Look, I think that's a good plaid shirt.
Thank you. I have a lot
sealed
more
approval.
Where that came from. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Maura, take care. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where am I? Where am I? The costume. Let me talk to Anastasia. Anastasia. Spoiler alert for This Week in Survivor History. Anastasia joined us for the highlight of my Twitch career.
I will say I froze complete. I don't know why I was so nervous, but I was so nervous and I got in my own head.
Hey, it was perfect.
I was Kella, but that's okay. I would love to be the disaster tribe to your win. So
I thank you so much. I appreciate it. Anastasia, what's going on?
So Marianne got me thinking about something during your interview with her.
Wasn't she great yesterday?
I love Marianne. I really love Marianne. I love talking to her on Chat BCC. If you guys aren't on it, you should get on Chat BCC. Just saying. But I started thinking about MC. MC has made it from day 5 to the merge with no vote. She's been on two swap tribes. Yeah. No vote has not been even talked about being voted out other than this last switch. But I was thinking, could this be her Marianne moment where if she makes it to the final 3, I don't think she's going to tell anybody when she gets the idol because they have to give it to her, right? That's a
I think question. That we'll see her get the idol at the beginning of the next episode.
Could this be her moment? Could this be her Marianne moment where she's at final 3 if she gets there, which I think she might. And she's like, look, I didn't have a vote. No one knew I didn't have a vote. I literally went on a journey, convinced somebody to not go after something in a way so I would save the vote I have that she didn't have.
I think Nate might say that, like, wait, hold on. You convinced me not to go for the thing? You convinced me?
She could say that if she's in final 3
she
and
could
he's
say
not.
It.
You know,
I guess it's possible, but to me, I don't see that. I feel like that maybe the more interesting thing that could happen with MC is that she gets the idol this week and then has to play it for the right Hina when it ends up being this line in the sand, Uli versus Hina. Play it for the right person correctly. And that's the bigger game-changing move than holding it up at the final tribal council and say, hey, I had this idol the whole time. I didn't even need it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I have a quick question. Not taking away from Sophie D, but not steal a vote. What is it called?
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Was that the advantage that Nate and MC didn't get?
Oh, that's possible. That's interesting.
Because on Fire, when Jeff was talking about it, he loves knowledge is power.
He does love knowledge is power.
And so I was thinking, we never found out what that advantage was.
Yeah.
So do you think that's what it is or what it was?
Yeah, I think that is a reasonable theory, that could have been knowledge is power, because it did seem very thrown in that they just had an advantage for the tribe that won the reward.
Because I know that, like, what was it? Stahl gave Rachel an advantage.
Yes.
But mostly it's an idol at these.
Yeah, that's a very specific thing when they do the split tribes where one tribe is voting and the other tribe isn't, that they've done that in Survivor 44 also, where that there was the block a vote. This was, you know, an option that Saul had to give either a escape a vote or a what is it called? The safety without power or whatever. There was like something else it could have been. So when one tribe goes to tribal council, I think the show wants it to be where the other group of people has some agency.
Because I know, didn't Carl get in David versus Goliath? Didn't he get a idol nullifier?
Carl got the idol nullifier. He went to Exile Island, I believe, and so
and that was during the merge-ish.
No, that was during the tribe swap. I think there was uneven numbers when they swapped to 3 tribes.
Okay, so just like Erica with the. Do you think they'd bring that back for 50? I saw
the hourglass.
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
I do not believe
good.
so.
I thought on Reddit where people were talking about, oh, they should bring back the hourglass. I'm like, please don't. Please don't bring back
I don't
the
think so.
hourglass.
I think the hourglass is done.
Okay. Well, that's all I have to say. Happy Halloween, Rob.
Okay. Happy Halloween. And as usual, we'll see what happens with MC and her idol this week.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Okay. All right. Let's go to, how about, let's go to very sick. What up, Tim? Tim, are you okay?
I'm okay. I am wearing a costume though.
Yes. Do you have HOH-itis? Is that what's going on?
It's been mentioned twice. Lisa mentioned it, and so did you.
What is it?
I'm a 6'7".
6'7". Yeah. HOH-itis, I think, was great. You have your
robe and everything.
Yeah.
And I was going to talk about the Sophie Sage dynamic until Bobby comes on and still starts spewing all his poison about Sophie B.
You're a big Sophie B person?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will give him this. Up until then, basically, all she had was her social stuff. However, with the knowledge of power, she plays it right. It's a catalyst to send her where she needs to be.
Yeah, Bobby was saying that he doesn't think that Sophie could win the game. I forgot to go to the chat. Torch Snuffer in the chat says Bobby Hall is an idiot.
I love you, Torch Snuffer.
Yeah.
See, everybody. It's Bobby, and then even Erica was backing Bobby. So we've got to kill this poison right now.
Yeah. Okay. You're a Sophie B stan. Is she your favorite?
I would say right now, yes. I like a lot of them, but yeah,
I really like how hard she plays the game. I feel like that she just has like such a. I'm trying to think of the right word. She's a real. She loves to play. I really like watching her.
And she's entertaining, which is good confessionals. I like watching that rather than just somebody that is a game bot.
Yeah, she has a real like zest for it.
Exactly. So we'll be rooting for her. We'll just keep. Anytime Bobby tries to come on here and spew this nonsense, I'll be here to knock him back. Be looking forward to seeing you next week. I know we're running. Yeah, flying out Sunday.
Okay. Sunday. That's a long week in San Francisco, Tim.
Well, we only did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Boston, and realized we didn't get to see Boston. So now we're going to start. And I retired yesterday, so I'm officially.
Congratulations.
Big party in San Francisco.
Okay. All right, Tim. See you there. Okay. Bye.
Next week.
Okay. Let me see. Where are the other costumes? Let me go to freshly squeezed. Let's see. Freshly squeezed old Chris. Chris, so you're in a different attire.
I am.
Typically. Yeah,
yes.
What are you?
So I am dressed as my favorite professional wrestler. His name is Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy.
Yes. Okay.
I'm paying
I like
tribute
this
to
look
another.
For you.
You like this? You think I should just start rocking aviators and denim?
Yeah, I think you could pull this off.
I probably could. Yeah. I'm paying tribute to another OC. He's Orange Cassidy. I'm Old Chris.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's also an easy costume. So
what does Mrs. Old Chris think about this look?
Well, Melissa, she laughed when I sent her my selfie this morning. So I have a feeling she probably would not like this full time.
Okay.
She's a classy lady. I don't know what she's doing with the likes of me, quite frankly.
All right. So what's going on, Chris?
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the show. And I think we've heard a lot about the Uli-Hina war that feels like it's imminent, that's about to break out.
Yeah.
I actually don't think we're getting it.
Oh,
hot take. I'm coming in. You know me. I'm the contrarian.
Yeah, the contrarian. So what are we going to get?
I think we hear them talking about it. So I think in their minds, they think this is happening, that they're going to be butting heads with each other once the merge hits. But we're also getting a lot of spotlight on the cracks in each of the tribes. So with Uli, you have it's one-sided, but the Savannah Jawan situation, that the crack in their divide, and how Savannah wants to get rid of Jawan, and how Shannon also wanted to get rid of Jawan before Fate intervened, or Sage intervened. So I think that's one area. There's a lot more cracks in Hina than I think we all anticipated, because you have Sophie and Christina who don't seem to be seeing eye to eye. You have MC, who was originally part of that alliance of 4, but then kind of wanted to do her own thing with Steven and Sophie as well. So Sophie S randomly part of 2 different.
This is why I don't think that that's going to be the case, because I think that typically we have these merges or mergatory, and there's like 12, 13 people, and you come into the merge and it's like, okay, this tribe has 5 and this tribe has 4 and this tribe has 3 or something like that, where there's not really a disaster tribe. And the group of 5 doesn't necessarily have enough people to we don't have a majority. So let's make our core group seem smaller. Let's try to hide a little bit more, and let's throw away one of our number. And then it's like, okay, well, they got one of us. Now they'll move on to somebody else. And so it's sort of like a little bit of a sneaky, defensive posture of let's just get rid of let's throw one of our own overboard so we won't be a target. But neither side is in that position where it's like the numbers are close enough that they both feel like, hey, this is it. We're all in. If we make our numbers small, we might just get completely wiped off the map. So we need to, this is all in on this particular hand. And whoever ends up with 6, and it could go either way, is going to be the people that might think that they have the numbers to potentially wipe out the other side.
Yeah. My thinking is, and some of this might be colored by what Jeff has said in the preseason about how the second half business picks up. I think that's going to be where every week to week, it's like whoever can get to 5 or 6 or whatever a majority is that particular week, whoever can get the numbers together in a given week is can get out who they want to get out that week.
Yeah,
that's how. Because there's just enough little, I guess, trust clusters, for lack of a better term, that are a lot of little city states are trying to vandal about.
And maybe we get there, but I think as of right now, I just don't think, other than the original tribe configurations, I don't think that we have a 6, or dare I say a 7, where that there is enough of a grouping to be able to pull something off.
No, it'll be interesting. I'm just happy. This episode, I almost feel like the first half of the season could be subtitled "Oops, all table setter episodes," because I feel like that's what it's been doing. We've been setting the table, and then finally got some payoff this week with the Sage and Shannon vote.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you so much. Okay.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye. Okay. All right. Let's go to where's Rito? Where is Rito? Who shot first? Was it Rito? Okay, here he is.
Oh, hey. Happy
Rito,
Friday, Rob. Hey.
How are you?
Good, you found me.
There you are. I was Waldo at a Halloween party in college, and it was one of my top Halloween costumes. It's really great if you go to a Halloween party. You want to be like, you get in a bunch of pictures. It's wonderful.
It's good. As a life hack for anyone that wants to go out but is nervous about socializing and trying to, get in conversation, you go as Waldo, and everyone, I went on a group Halloween run this morning, and everyone was like, "Oh, I found Waldo." It's a good attraction piece.
Yes. So, how far did you run?
I did just a 3-mile run this morning.
Okay.
So just a little 5K, but it was good. But what we're here to talk about, is bringing in the Snaky Award for this episode.
Reset what the Snaky Award is. The
for those that
invented Rito Snaky Award.
Yeah, for those that weren't there the first week, as we all know, the snake incident, it was a dry bite, and as Jeff had stated, a dry bite is pretty much just the snake telling the person that they just want them to get away. And so the contents of the Snaky Award is if there's a move a player is wanting to make, but they and if they were to make it, they would have gotten home the next episode.
Okay.
That's a theory. And so if you dodge it, then you get the Snaky Award. And so I have been wanting to give it to Shannon the past few episodes because they've been teeing it up. She was going for Sage, but alas, she got what was coming for her. And I would agree. This episode, there's a lot of juicy content in terms of the three new tribes, and a lot of players were at rest. But I think I'm gonna give it to Chris. Oh, hi.
Here, you want to hold on? Anthony has wandered in. I didn't think he was gonna.
I love this. Yeah, he's here for the big moment.
A creepy costume.
What is Anthony dressed up?
What are you? The Grim Reaper. He's the Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper. There you go. I like that's spooky. Who was the one that I'm blanking on the name, but that had the kind of crash moment this episode? That
crotch moment.
No, the mental breakdown. Kind of, she blacked out.
Oh, Christina.
Christina, thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna give it to her, only because she threw out Sophie's name, and we saw how that didn't, back, she was like, oh, she threw out my name, I'm sus about her now. Now, Sophie was starting to plan a move to go for Christina because of that. So if that tribe lost, I feel like Christina was gonna get the boot. So I'm giving the Snaky to her. Yeah.
Reed, by the end of the season, I'm gonna figure out how the Snaky works. I'm gonna commit to it.
Okay, and for now, we'll stick to just giving it to season 49.
Okay.
Yeah, this
we'll
is
see if it gets picked up for season 50.
We'll see if Snake, Snake shows up for season 50. But,
okay.
Yeah. And then, do I have time for a hot take?
Real quick hot take.
Okay, so
you give the take. I'll tell you if it's hot or not.
Yeah, and you rate it. The take is, I love season 41, but the only issue that I had was when Jeff decided. This is a very hot take. When Jeff decided to change the "come on in, guys" as bringing in all the players, because for me, I'm still watching all the old seasons, and so I'll be watching it, and he's saying, come on in, guys, and then now I go to the new season, and he just says, come on in, and I feel like we're waiting for him to say something along with it. Yeah, I don't like it. I understand
this is not a very hot take. It's very, this is a very cold take. This was a take that I think was almost like universally not necessarily what you did, the way that Jeff did it. I think he's even talked about that he did not do this well. Yeah. Survivor had not been on the air for 2 years because of COVID, or a year and a half. And it's like, hey, everybody, we're back. We know you're excited. And guess what? Should we still say, come on in, guys? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah. Okay. All right. And then Abby's like, it's fine. They're like, all right, you heard it. The players said it's staying. And then Ricard ends up saying I didn't love it. I think other people maybe don't love it. He's like, all right, that's it. You heard it. So it was, I think, universally a hated move, because I think it sort of really opened up a discussion about the wokeness. Is Survivor overly politically correct? It was just they could have just changed it. They could have just said, come on in. Nobody would have even said like, hey, what happened to guys? Did they change?
Right.
it?
Yeah. But the fact that he brought it up.
When they made it part of the show, and then when it made it seem like, all right, what do you think? What do you think? All right. Okay, that's it. It just like was, I think, not artfully handled.
Yeah. I think at the time,
and I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like in talking to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Survivor players, I don't recall any of the one, like maybe there were people on social media saying like, hey, and let's abolish come on in guys.
Yeah.
But in talking with, all of these players and having all these conversations, I don't feel like that this was ever a thing that the players in the game were feeling like, I really don't like it when Jeff says, come on in guys.
Yeah. You never heard it from the players, talking their casual talk on the beach and everything, but they kind of made such a big deal of it during that episode.
Yeah.
And so now when I watch an old season and he says it, and then you go to a current episode, it's like, it gets a little confusing. I almost feel like if he just says like, bring them in, as a way to collectively.
Yeah, I think they could have just changed the whole phrase. Or like, come on in, gang.
Yeah, come on in, survivors, or at something. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, this is, I would say this is a very mild take in terms of that you don't like this. Many people don't like it.
That's great. As I'm getting more and more connected with the Survivor community, it's just helpful. Just
bring it on in.
Bring it on in. Yeah. Let's start the competition. I don't know. They'll figure something out. But anyway, thanks for talking and happy Halloween.
All right, take care. Bye. All right. Let's see. Are there any costumes still out there? I think that Tony. Let's go to Tony. Tony,
how's it going, Rob?
Okay, Tony, from the very small preview that I get, I couldn't tell. I thought this was a Jeff costume, but I couldn't quite tell. It was like maybe this is just his shirt. So I don't want. Let me just say. I don't want to say this is a costume.
I got the whole torch. I got everything.
You got everything, Tony. You're all ready to go.
So
even like what drink do you have in front of you?
It's Fisherman's Lemonade. Get a little start.
Fisherman's Lemonade, but that even the perspective of that is like so close to the camera. It looks like it's your urn.
It is not my urn. I don't have any votes
but it
in
looked
there.
like it was supposed to be.
In some world there could be.
Okay, so Tony, what's going on?
So I was sort of just thinking bigger picture. Jeff Probst is, I think, the best host out there right now. But what do you think he could learn from the international versions of Survivor? I know, especially with JLP getting out there. But I think that he still could have some lessons to be learned from the other hosts out in the international sphere. What are your thoughts on?
I feel like that Jeff, the host, I don't really have a lot of feedback or notes for. I think that Jeff does a really great job of hosting the show. I don't know if there's any one thing that like JLP does that's like, now Jeff could be doing that. I think that any issues that I have complained about with Survivor, I'd say probably 98% of them are Jeff's, some of the creative calls that he makes. I think I have very few notes about Jeff's hosting moves and technique.
I tend to agree. I think he can get a little bit better with hyping up with the challenges, but that's like the smallest.
Hyping up with the challenges. What do you mean?
I think maybe not. Okay, hold on. More so with the tribal councils. I think JLP tended to ask more guided questions. And I think a while in the early New Era, guided questions were just turned into a metaphor fest. Whereas in international versions,
I think that in a little bit when we came back from the New Era, I do think that Jeff kind of was really trying to explore the human condition a bit more. And I think that JLP was always a little bit more, let's like focus on the game down to brass tacks. Yeah. I really do feel like that Survivor is best when we focus on what's happening in the game, what's happening here, less about your struggles at home, less about your trauma that happened prior to being on Survivor, more focus on the conflict happening in Survivor.
I agree. Yeah, I think Tribal's really my only, because every week for me, if I'm rewatching an episode, I feel like Tribal's a skip up until the very end, up until the votes are read every single week. But other than that, that's kind of it.
Okay.
I hope you have a great Halloween and have a good one.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tony. Okay.
You got it.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye. Okay. I mean, we've talked about this for a long time of that when you go back and watch really old episodes, and especially in the 42-minute era, these tribal councils were not as long. And then in the 30s, like they really started to get very lengthy, the tribal councils. And it would be the live tribal council era potentially. But then also sometimes it would just be like a metaphor fest. And it was really like because everybody is sort of like trying to say nothing and then also trying to hide who the vote is going to be. A lot of times that was like a wasted segment. I haven't really noticed that as much, especially in the 90-minute episodes. It doesn't feel as much as like, okay, well, why are we spending so much time on this? I think it's been fine, but it has not been something that I've really like been very irritated with. Let's go to Richard. Richard, this looks so familiar. I've seen this before.
What's up, Cesternino? It's been a while. How you doing, bud?
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
you're on a 90-degree angle. Let me see if I can see
Yeah, I know
you.
you're sideways for me. Am I sideways for you? Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. There
I
we go.
tried having you on a tripod or something.
Yeah, Richard, this is very... okay, hold on. We got too close to the sun.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Yeah, Richard, this is a very good costume. You got the buff.
I
Correct?
know.
You need like a little mustache.
You know, I actually not good at that. Not something I'm really good at growing in.
Fake eyelashes.
Fake eyelashes. Yeah, I think I saw someone earlier who looked a
Or
little bit.
a marker.
Marker works. I'm a little worried about that because I'm going home tonight. Don't want to have too much, especially if I can only rub off a little bit. But yeah, and also I want to apologize. I know you were a little upset on when I was on TV. I said the person I'm looking forward to the most was Dorinda on the Traders, but don't worry, you're number 3. So the question I had was, I feel like people have been a little tough on the beginning of the season, and we did just get something interesting this week, obviously. But I almost feel like it's kind of bleeding in from 48, where that was kind of boring towards the end, where people like now like hungry like for a blindside, and kind of again, this is a new season. Like I'm like, is it like what do you think is better? Do you think it's better to have a season that every vote's a blindside even in the pre-merge, or do you like when, assuming the propaganda, for lack of a better word, is right, that this season will get exciting towards the end, that it's actually better to have a slow beginning because we actually get to know the relationships more and they mean more when there actually is a blindside?
So I think that the first part of what you're saying about the 48 being kind of a slow second half and then we getting off to a slow start, it feels a little bit more like when some of my sports teams where you have like, you had a bad like collapse at the end of the season and then you start off the new season and things are not going well and the fan base has like a little less patience. That's what this feels like a little bit more to me, where it was slow to start 49, probably not the slowest we've ever had, but I think when it was a slow second half of 48, then combined with a slow start to 49, where people are very much like, wake me up when it's Survivor 50. Like, I think it was just like we were looking for a reason to care here at the start of the season, and we just didn't get one.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a rough spot where it's like, there's so much that people have been like wanting from the end of the last season and so much we're looking forward to with the next season where, you know, it's just kind of a tough spot. I feel like usually a tough spot is like post a big all-star season. I haven't really thought about like pre, but I think both is just like really tough. Like,
well, I think that pre a big all-star season is an interesting spot. And you're right. Historically, Survivor does really struggle coming out of a big all-star season. 39 was such a weird situation where it was actually a fun start to 39. And then obviously there was all of the turmoil with everything with the Dan incident and leading into 40. I think in Pearl Islands, you certainly didn't have that because I think that the idea of the All-Stars was like people, I don't know if the online fan base knew the All-Stars was happening at that time, so it wasn't like a distraction. You had Russell in Samoa, so that was sort of like a precursor. So maybe we end up with a situation where it's a very exciting back half of 49 that ends up like, oh wow, like this was a good call to put these people on Survivor 50.
Yeah, I just hope you know, I'm trying to I always try to keep my like expectations very tempered because it's just like
secret to happiness.
I don't want anyone to be like, okay, we got a first blindside, now everything's gonna be a blindside. Like, who knows when like the back half really starts? Like, is it the merge episode, or maybe we'll have
Jeff has been on video this week saying that this was now the point in the game when they were like, hey, if you guys do fun stuff, you'll be on Survivor 50. And he said, then everything changed.
Oh, so he says it in the season to them? Okay.
I guess that he said it in the season. I think I saw some video, maybe on Club Condo this week. They'll get into it.
Okay, I'll make sure to tune in. And yeah, just I know you try to cycle people out towards the end here, and I just want to say real quick, I think I've been a patron for like 2 years now, and I just kind of wanted to watch Australian Survivor. So this is like the first time where I'm like, you have other shit.
Look at you now. Look at you in a costume.
I know. So yeah, this is my first time
roasting me.
I know. Well, you know, that's my love language, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, appreciate it. You can kick me out anytime.
All right. Thanks, Richard. Okay. Take care. Bye. All right. Let's say hello. Let me say hi to Quentin here. Quentin. Yes. Okay. What is going on here?
I'm a prince. Duh. I don't know. This is just what I picked up at the Ren Fair a few weeks ago, and I just wanted an excuse to wear it. So.
Okay. And your background is so interesting.
Well, yeah. So I'm in a guest room at my friend's house, but actually, this used to be my room.
Card.
Yeah. It's just a very yellow. It's a very dark room under the stairs. So it's loud. It's dark. You can hear the brown line pass every couple minutes. Yeah, but this used to be my room when I lived here.
Okay.
But now it's the guest room I'm staying in.
All right, welcome back, Quentin. Okay.
Thanks.
What's going on?
Well, great week for RHAP. I loved the Sydney episode. I loved the Star episode. That was phenomenal. Looking forward to. I haven't listened to Marianne yet, but looking forward
really
to that. Good. Yeah, looking forward to Danielle.
I love talking to Star also.
Star was like I knew it was going to be good, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring her back anytime for any reason. Let's Shannon's gone. Woo! Big week. Really just ecstatic about that. But I want to get your take on you've talked before about how there are some like winner potential people. Nothing. What is threat? Nothing.
The threats, the nothings, and the losers.
Yeah, so I just want to get where everything stands now because Sage, I think, was a nothing until this episode.
Yeah. And
I think Sophie from original Hina was kind of a nothing. Now I think she's getting something, but I think she's still crying. But she's getting there. She could be changing that up.
So,
but where do you think everyone
is? Look at it from the perspective of like to us at home and to the people who are out there. I think that the people out there probably look at her as still like in the nothing category. She's not dangerous where when you get to that level of like you've gone from nothing to threat, okay, now you're a problem. We have to deal with you. I think that Nate is somebody who I do think is a threat right now. The other members of Uli, Rizzo, and Savannah, and Jawan, I think are probably nothings. Jawan might be teetering in the loser category right now, where I don't really see it for him. Whereas then over on Hina, I think because they just haven't gone to Tribal Council, I think that there are a lot of nothings. I just think that really the one person in the game that I think you might say you look at them and there's a threat is Nate, because I think that one, just like the physical, like he's tall, he is, you know, a elder statesman without being like decrepit. He seems like he's athletic, and then also it seems like that he has an army.
Yeah. I'm wondering about Sophie B and Alex though, because I don't know. You could say they're nothing because it's like, oh, it's only two of them. But at the same time, like they could be the next Tika, you know, like they could,
It
or
depends how much they are seen together as a pair. Like nobody's ever seen them interact with each other. And if they get to the beach and they're just like, you know, arm in arm where they're inseparable, I think that that's a little bit more of a thing.
yeah. I mean, on 44 though, Tika was like not hiding the fact that they were Tika, but they still pulled it off. It was
I
really
think
only
they were though, because they would fight.
That's true. They did have a lot of infighting, but like Franny was like the only person to call out, like, "Hey, Tika's sitting right there," and then she got taken out. So then everyone else just kind of forgot.
But I
And
think that like
I
the
hope that
story there,
happens.
like Carolyn and Jam Jam, I think would fight. And I
Yeah,
think that
that's true.
Carson would often like have to be the bridge to try to help them get back together. And then also like Jam Jam was like trying to vote out Carolyn towards the end of the unsuccessfully trying to vote out
Yeah.
Carolyn.
Well, I could see Sophie trying to take out Alex at any time. If I were the rest of the group, I would think that the merge boot should be either like Alex or a Sage or a Jawan. And I would like for none of them to get voted out next because I like all three of them. But
it's got to be somebody, Quentin. You can't get Shannon again.
I know. Well, I think it's going to be Sage because there have been a number of instances where it's like, haha, I got out my number one enemy, and then you get out the next round.
I can see a world where it is Sage. I do think that, and I described it as if Jawan goes back to Uli, and then Sophie B pulls in Alex, and then that Hina might throw Sage to the wolves. Like I could see that as the person who could go home.
Yeah. Fingers crossed that's not the case.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope Sage is a threat the way that Genevieve was like a nothing for 3 episodes and then all of a sudden was like, hi, I'm Genevieve.
But yeah, well, I guess Sage did have a breakout episode this week, but we'll see. I don't suspect Sage is on the same Genevieve trajectory.
Probably not, but it would be cool.
All right, Prince Quentin, let me get to these other calls, okay?
Have a good one.
Okay, take care. Bye. Okay. Let me go to Karen. Karen, how are you?
Hi. I'm dressed as if I'm somewhere cold, but I'm really here in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yes, the Love You Bay Area.
I am, and I'm so glad that you're going to be here.
Yes. Okay. See you soon. Wear the hat so I make sure I recognize you.
Well, I'm going to be, you know what? I got my ticket a long time ago when it was much smaller, and there was one seat in the very front row on the aisle. So that's where I'm going to be. But I can't believe when I heard you said there's over 1,000 people coming now.
1,000 people are coming. Yep.
That's why.
And a lot of survivors are coming.
Awesome. And I'm going to
have also some people you might not expect to see.
Cool. I have various health things, so I will most likely be wearing a mask there on the front row. So you'll be seeing me like this, but I will be smiling. You'll see it with my eyes.
You will be easy to identify.
All right, cool. Yeah, so speaking of expressions, one reason this was such a great episode and I was cheering this week. And one reason I was so glad, I want Sage, I love Sage and Jawan. They're my favorites. I want them to go to the end, but I thought at the least we're going to get them on the jury. And they're both so fabulously expressive. Mm-hmm. And I just thought about like how, I never thought about that before, but like who is on the jury affects our experience of the whole show.
Because they're basically like the live studio audience.
Yeah. And it's so fun. Like I think about Eliza and I don't know, other people that it's just like when you go to that group. And
that's an interesting point where I kind of feel like that is Rick Devens as big of a deal without like, there was like a huge jury on the Edge of Extinction where there ends up being like, it's like a 13-person jury.
Right.
And then they start with a big jury. So he's doing stuff and there's like a lot of people, like he's a disruptor there. So I do think that probably does help the making like somebody into like a bigger presence.
Yeah, and I think it helps the fun of the show too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a fun
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. And okay, what else? I have my theory about, I always pay attention with the idols, like how are they making this fair? And I noticed that they were all hidden in spots that exist on the 3 beaches. One was by the well, one was by Tree Mail, and one was by the boat. Because my thought was that way, if there were multiple people that ended up on the same beach but needed to search for an idol, they could be hiding them all. So
Mhm.
I think it's like, it's not a problem that, wherever she moves, there's going to be a boat or whatever it
They've
is.
thought a lot of this stuff through.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my I guess if I've had, this is what I think is a hot, whenever you all talk about hot takes, I'm like, I never have those, but I finally had one
Yes,
a
what is
while
it?
ago. So you tell me if this is a hot take. The hot take is that, awful as it is, it's actually good for the show if people quit sometimes, because it shows us how hard it shows us it's like the real deal, and that the show is hard.
That is I think that's not how the show looks at it. I think that is a very practical way of it. As a fan, like, it is good that people quit sometimes. I think that the show always looks at it as like an inconvenience of this person threw off our numbers. But in the case of Jake, with all due respect to Jake, him going out of the game and then giving us that double boot really has set things up where we don't have a Mergatory potentially, and we have, I think, they need to do a double elimination prior to when they typically do it. So losing a person pre-merge extra actually helped the season.
Yeah, that I think so. Well, I'll get going, but I'm so looking forward to see. Oh, and I want to say too, like, that San Francisco's across the bay from me, but it feels like a long way. I do not go out on weeknights, but I was like, I've got to be there. I'm listening to you all the time, and it's just such a lovely part of my life. And so I was like, he's here, I've got to go.
Yeah.
So
okay. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Okay. And everybody, we are going to have a patron meetup on that Tuesday night also, which are very fun.
Yeah, that would be a lot for me, but I'll try.
Yeah. Okay. Look, no pressure, but what I try to do is Tuesday night, and this is like a perk for being a patron. We don't charge a ticket for this. It's for the patrons only, but just come in. We have name tags. It's really an opportunity to, get to meet so many of the other people that are in this community. And so I really like the Wednesday night gets a little crazy, but Tuesday night is a little bit more of a slower night for everybody.
Okay. Good to know. All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Karen. Okay. Bye. Okay. Let me say hello to Christelle.
Hey, Rob.
Christelle, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. What's going on?
Well, I want to tell Karen, if she's still listening, the Tuesday night is really, really good. It's just, if she can make it, because it's really, really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like the queen of no fun, because I'm not wearing a costume, and I totally forgot it was Halloween.
That's okay.
I saw you guys. So I have a question that not about the episodes or even this. It's kind of like more broad Survivor question. And I'm a day one, episode 1, season 1 watcher, and I feel like I'm gotten to where I just watch it out of habit now. Like, I can't miss it. I've done it, every Wednesday, and then
I have the same thing with the Jets. You think it's fun? What am I gonna do?
That's a really good analogy. It's true. But I wanted to ask you, and if you've talked about this before and I missed it, I apologize. But I was listening to the Drop Your Buffs podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I learned about them when they were on RHAP.
Yeah.
So I was listening, and they were talking about how discontented they are, and how they were stopping covering this season because of how bad it is. And I'm paraphrasing, and they brought up something about why they think it's bad that I've never thought about, or I've never heard you talk about. And so again, I'm sorry if I missed it, but they were saying that it's because it's no longer about the $1 million. Like, you don't hear that I'll do anything for $1 million for my family. It's not about even like the title, like I'm going to be the sole survivor. There's not that drive, that the actual prize for the people that they're casting the super fans is entry into the community. So that's more important than winning. That's why there's the kumbaya and all that. And I was just wondering, like, because of what you do and what we all do, and I'm flying out to San Francisco in 48 hours. Like, how do you feel about that?
So yeah, I do listen to Sean and Evan. They do a great job, and they definitely have a distinct point of view. And I've heard a lot of their criticisms. I don't know if I had heard that specifically, that they felt like that the people who go on the show are just trying to get into the community. I would respectfully push back on that. I agree about the point, and I've said this quite a bit myself, about how they almost never talk about the money on Survivor.
What happened to that?
It used to be like you know, who will win $1 million? Who will do, you know, what will people do? It was an exploration of the human condition. What are people willing to do? How hard are people willing to push themselves to win $1 million? Where I have often talked about Survivor. Jeff has talked about this himself and this isn't a secret. He's talked about this on the On Fire podcast. He says, you know, the game is the lore, the experience is the prize. And it is a show about how do we show the stories of 18 people looking to have this experience, and while they think they're playing a game for $1 million. And yeah, one person will win $1 million. How will these people grow as people over the course of this extreme hardship that we are going to put them through? How are these people grow? So we spend a lot of time exploring the issues that brought them to Survivor. What have they overcome previously? What has this experience taught them? Anytime the players talk about, like, wow, when I get home, I thought I had it figured out, but now in my real life, I'm going to do this. And so I don't know if it's necessarily that that's why it's kumbaya. So I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, I'm going onto the show because now I want to be part of this community. Maybe for some, that's what they think about. But I think it's more about that these people are just, for the most part, very nice people, and people who the show wants to tell their story. But in the old days, you would get people who were maybe not necessarily like the most savory people that you would want to spend time with. But the point of the show was to explore this interpersonal conflict. Whereas in the show now, it's a lot more about like, can I beat this person? You know, is this person how do I use my advantage to steal their advantage? But it's not necessarily like I hate this person's guts. And that's why I love the Sage and Sage and Shannon storyline so much, that it really was, I felt like a throwback of like, I can't stand this person. Like, who is this jackass? What is this person? I can't deal with this person another day. I don't care if they were on my old tribe. I don't care if people are going to be mad at me. I got to get rid of them. So I did really love that. I would love to see players who are going for the, like, wanting to win the money more so. Like, if anything, they talk about what does it mean to somebody to be the sole survivor, but it's almost never, what am I going to do with this money? And if it comes up, it's in the like Jesse Lopez of like this, I'm doing this for my family. Jeremy Collins. It's like, it's typically like a dad of, I have these Kyle, season 47. It's typically like a dad saying like, I need to make this move because I need to put food on the table for my family.
Yeah. And, but the Sage thing, it brought it even more to the forefront, because here we have this example of something that is a throwback. And so it was, it felt almost like it brought it up about the community. Like, does she, you know, like just bring it back to what they said, like, do they Like, is that something that people think about when they're out there on the island? Oh, people aren't going to like me if I do this, you know?
Perhaps
And then she just hated it so much.
Maybe some people are like too much in the weeds of like, okay, what are they going to, I could think of examples off the top of my head where a player might say, oh, if I make this move, then what are people going to say about me on the internet? What are people going to say about me, like in the RHAP world? And that's probably a negative thing for the show.
But there is a casting thing too, where I think they are casting people who care more. I mean, thinking back, like a lot of the old school players, I don't think they cared. I don't think they care today if people like them, or they just don't care. And that's a great casting. Like I felt like Sage didn't care, and that was great.
You know, I said this on the know-it-alls that I do want to say like that what they tried to do, the producers, was, and I think this came from a good place of that they felt like that there was too many stories of people who, you know, that they came into the game with biases against different races or genders or sexual proclivities, and it was and there were things that were ugly about that. And so we tried to like, okay, we are going to root anybody who might be like, we're going to try to see if we can diagnose that ahead of time. We're going to get all of that out of the game. But then they ended up with largely 18 conflict averse people who were like, for the most part, very nice people who may have been like dealing with a lot of circumstances outside of the game. And I feel like that always hasn't given us the most exciting game. And we have really sort of like tried to find people who they love Survivor, you know, that they are really, it means a lot to them to win the game, but also that they're just, you know, they're playing you know, a game that is not like necessarily, if it's underhanded, it's really all in the, well, I couldn't beat them in the end. You know, it's not necessarily like I'm bluffing, but it's not necessarily like I am trying to take this person out because I hate their guts.
Yeah. Well, Sam wants me to go, so I'll let you go.
Okay.
Thank you so much for everything.
That was my bad, Sam. That was my bad. Okay.
No, I really appreciate you. I will see you on Tuesday. Thank you for everything.
See
Have
you
a great
there.
travel
Okay.
day. See you, Sam.
Bye. Okay. Let me talk to somebody else that we're going to see this week. It's the great Miles Nye. Miles, how are you?
I'm great, Rob. Thank you. It's so nice to see you.
Yes, Miles. We have we're twinning Burgundy guys over here.
I noticed
Ron
that too.
Burgundy's.
Would you like to join the Father's Corps?
Father's Corps. Is that a real thing?
Yes, I'm not part of it. I just attended an event and they gave me a shirt. It was a nice event in, I live in the East Bay. Like I think Karen, who was on 2 lines ago, talked. It's a very common opinion. People who go, oh, San Francisco, it's so far away. I can't get there. I get it. But, you know, I lived in LA for long enough that I'm like, taking a BART ride across the bay, piece of pie. Anyhow, yeah, the Father Corps had an event in Oakland that I showed up for, and they gave me this nice soft burgundy shirt so that we could be twins.
Okay. So, Miles, do you want to talk about what you have in store coming up this week?
This is great. This is like when Carson invites you to plug. Johnny Carson, that is, not
not the guy that helps Jam and Carolyn not fight.
Yeah,
when that Carson asks you to plug, it's like, hey, so what are you working on, and how do I start working on it too?
He's gonna plug models of 3D printers. Tuesday night, I've overextended myself, but I'm doing it because I love the RHAP community and I love games. And so on Tuesday night, I am inviting patrons, podcasters, Survivor alums to play a new social deduction game that you probably haven't seen unless you were at the Heritage Scare in 2017 or 2016, which it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Because it's Halloween, this is, I invented this game. It's called Clue House. And I invented it when I was like deepest in my fandom of The Genius. Like when The Genius was still new and new episodes were coming out. And I was like, if I made a The Genius main match style game inspired by Clue, what would that be like? And so in the game of Clue House, which is for 12 players, 5 pairs of living players, and 1 pair of ghosts, You go into a room of the clue house. You each have a weapon of proficiency. If you're in the room with your weapon, a target, and no other witnesses, you can kill another person and score a point for your team. There's a little more to it than that. But if you've watched The Genius or Devil's Plan, if you know how main matches go, is this as good as those? I couldn't say, but it is inspired by
Where are
those.
you doing this? Where's
Great
the
question.
Clue House going to be? Your
Clue
house?
House
You're
is gonna
inviting
be-
everyone to come to your home.
I live in a haunted mansion with ample rooms. No, this is drawing on like, you know, my sort of years of doing game at festivals and stuff. There's a park that's like a 15-minute walk from the bar. It was the closest park I could find. If I find a closer park that's better, I'll put it in the Discord. But this is just going to be out in the fresh air.
And this is what time?
We're going to run a game at 5 p.m. and we're going to run a game at 6 p.m. and we'll see what happens after that.
On Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So yeah, that'll be great.
Particularly for the people who like to be social but aren't really into drinking, which is kind of my scene. Like traditionally, if there's a bar night going on, usually I'm the guy who brings a game. And this is just that. Yeah.
And listen, yeah, I know it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but this is literally 5 o'clock, and there'll be plenty of time to drink after, even if you are a big drinker.
Even if you are a big drinker, if God forbid you get murdered in one of the early rounds, then, you know, maybe you're like, I've lost interest, I'm going to the bar.
How do you sign up to play?
Derek added a channel to Discord, and it's called Bonus Games. We've already had 22 people who joined in and showed an emoji saying that they were interested. What you should do, I will post the location of the park. I'm going to go there early on Tuesday. I'm actually working for a client on Tuesday early afternoon, and I'm going to go right from that into this. Again, it's my pleasure. It's what I love to do, right? I'm pushing myself too hard, but it's from a place of love. So I'm going to get to San Francisco early in the day, confirm that the park is good, post the location in the Discord. And then, so there's not going to be any kind of online sign up because I don't know if you know this, Rob, sometimes people say they're going to show up to something and then they don't.
That's why we'll have alternates.
That's why we'll have alternates. Yeah.
You could be the Jason of this.
Be the Jason. I think it's better to be the MC.
You're the MC, I thought.
I am the MC. Yes. The master of carnage. I get to play the butler. Oh yeah, the butler role, who's like the host. The butler's canonically the butler in the game of Clue House. His name is Curry. That's my own spin on it. It's how I add a little flavor, and he's also there to curry favor. So at 5 o'clock, I will look around at who's there. It'll be kind of first come, first serve. I've got a couple moonshots. Like I think it would be fun if some of our Survivor alumni friends who like strategy games and live locally, your Frannies and so on. If they want to play the game, they're invited. We're going to try to put the word out. But when it's 5 o'clock, I'm going to count noses and get the game started. And if people aren't in the first game, we're just in a park. So you can witness the game if you're not a player. You can be an audience member. You can go from room to room in case you get to watch a murder happen. Then I'm going to run it again at 6. And after that, you know, if after 5, everybody's wandered off and there's no game at 6, no hard feelings. If we play the game at 5 and it's short and we start at 5:30 and the next one's short and we play a third one, fine. Loosey-goosey. That's my attitude. It's just supposed to be for fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Miles, thank you for putting this all together. Looking forward to seeing you for the first time. I can't even think of how long.
I got to say a quick
Pre-COVID?
hello to you in New York at a live show. Yep. I hung out with Noah a lot. Noah's kind of become, you know, my patron god sister. But yeah, I'll get to see you in person, say a quick hello. It's so cool that you're coming to the SF Bay Area. So cool that the fans are turning out. Thank you for all of your coverage. It's so cool seeing the list of guests you have each week. You're just crushing it, turning in top grade material week after week.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Miles. And I will see you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday. Safe travels.
Bye. Okay. All right. Let's go to Tanner. Tanner, how are you?
I'm really good, Rob. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Now, what buff is this? Now, you typically don't wear the buff on your head. You usually have it around your neck.
Yeah, I thought I'd switch it up. This is my effort for a Halloween costume this year. This is the Dane Rain buff from Philippines. It's black, it has a little orange accents. I felt like it fit. Yeah, I thought doing something different. I don't really have a Halloween costume on hand. I did have a Ghostface costume for a number of years,
Ooh,
but
spooky.
I think I got rid of it after cleaning up my house and like donating stuff. So yeah, this is my effort.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what's in your mind?
I do agree that that Sage and Juwan, I do think made the right call in getting rid of Shannon. Like, will there be repercussions from it from the former Uli members? Yeah, probably. But at the same time, it's like, what are they gonna do? Like can they really get mad at them for making the defensive move? Like, Shannon was throwing out Sage and Juwan's name for this tribal and tribals prior. So it's kind of like, what are you gonna do? Like, Sage and Juwan, like their hands were kind of forced essentially. It's like, what other choice do they really have? You got to look out for yourself, number one.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think, a real mistake on Shannon's part to throw Juwan's name out there instead of Steven.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, had she not done that, yeah, absolutely. Had she not done that, I think she still would have been in the game and probably could have been a real contender for Merge Boot, probably.
I think that she would have been somebody who, I think that she seemed like that she was very close with Savannah and Rizzo and Nate. So I really think that she would have gone very far in this game had she stayed.
Maybe, I don't know. I also have to say I'm kind of been disappointed in Christina this season. I had a lot of high hopes for her coming into it from the buzz that she created.
She's been a letdown. She was very buzzy in the preseason of it. Everyone's like, I can't wait to work with this person. And then she's been giving us next to nothing.
Yeah, she's every week that goes by, she's giving less Cerie Fields energy and more like Cassandra Franklin energy, if you remember that reference.
I do remember Cassandra.
Yeah, she like Christina's kind of given more Cassandra energy, where like I think a lot of people thought that Cassandra would probably be like the Cerie of Fiji, but then it turns out she really kind of did nothing the whole season, kind of rode on Earl and Yellowman's coattails. And I kind of feel similar to Christina.
Though, it's hard to be the new Cerie. It is. There was nothing wrong with the old Cerie. Like, that's like big like it's like somebody comes into like the NFL. It's like, this is the next Tom Brady. It's like, okay. And it's like, oh wait, no. That's big shoes to fill.
Yeah, it's very big shoes to fill. I don't think there'll ever be another player like Cerie ever again.
Unlikely.
It's very unlikely.
Easier said than done. Unlikely.
Very much so. But I think the main question I have regards to Sophie and her possession of the knowledge is power advantage. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of knowledge is power. I think it's a little too OP in the right person's hands. But the common mistake that people make,
I agree, even though it's never worked.
Yeah. Like the common mistake people make when they are in possession of the knowledge is power is that they tell people about it. And, once people know about knowledge is power, they immediately are targeted right away. Do you think that could be the case with Sophie? Could she make the same mistake that other players make and tell people about her knowledge is power?
My theory was I thought she could potentially tell Alex about it as a way to win him back over.
Yeah. And I think the knowledge is power is one of those advantages that it's better to keep it to yourself. Play it only when you really need to.
It makes all the sense. The name is right there.
It's literally in the name. Like it's not complicated. Just don't tell anyone about what you have, and everything will work out for you. I mean, I could see a world where I think Sophie is a smart enough player to where I think she will hold on to the knowledge is power and not tell anyone. I do think she has the chops for it. I just am worried that because it seems like a common theme when someone finds an advantage or an idol, they want to tell people about it right away, whether it's trying to build trust.
You want to tell everybody.
Whether it's the one to build trust or you just want to like let it be known to the world that you have this thing. But
I feel the old joke, like, why are you telling me this? Like, I'm telling everybody.
Yeah, I'm telling everybody. We don't need to keep secrets here. But yeah, I just think that I'm hopeful for Sophie that she will hold on to this advantage and use it when she needs to. But I also have a feeling that she might fall victim to the same fall into the same trap that everyone else has made when in possession of this, where she'll tell people and ends up putting a big target on her back.
Okay. All right, Tanner. Well, have a great Halloween.
Yeah, and I want to say happy birthday to my mom. It's her birthday today, and you know, she loves you. She loves watching the podcast, and you know, she always gets a kick out of me whenever I get to talk to you. So,
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Tanner's mom.
happy birthday,
Okay.
Mom. I love you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Let me go to Alon.
What's happening?
Am I saying that correct
Got
phonetically?
it. Rob, I was really touched actually that on Renap you corrected Akiva on the pronunciation
Yes.
of my name. That was
and we can get into that. I don't know if Akiva did justice to what you were trying to pitch.
we can touch it really briefly. Like in his defense, it was not the absolute most fleshed out pitch. I mean, I joined Renap with Groundhog Week, the original one with the legend
With Eric, the mastermind, Eric
Stein.
Stein.
Yes. And have tried to backfill when, opportunistically. The live show in Minneapolis is like, legendary. And I was thinking like, Akiva was like, oh, of course, we'll have one more live show. I'm like, okay, we'll see. But like doing just basically that one more time for the fans, just
yeah, but like in person, a live show.
I mean, I thought like, I don't know if we can pull that off. Like, why not like say like, hey, at this time, like go on YouTube Live or Twitch or whatever, Zoom, and then you can have like audio,
If we could get Craigslist Carl back.
Yes.
Or at least Will from America.
I thought that goes without saying.
Yeah, it goes without saying. Okay. All right. So
amazing.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Rob, I want to talk to you. I'm so excited to meet you in San Francisco.
So, likewise.
On Wednesday. Yeah, that's so cool. I want to just very briefly, like, what's your relationship with San Francisco? You used to live in LA, like.
Yes. Okay. So I have been to San Francisco a few different times. So my first trip to San Francisco, and it was a memorable one for me in that I went to a conference for the insurance company I used to work for. I went to go to meet with the software developers in San Francisco. And I remember it well. It was the spring of 2002. And very notably, I watched episode 3 of Survivor Marquesas.
Wow.
And watched Hunter Ellis voted out of the game. And I was like, oh my God. It was like a real, like, very big memory for me of like, wow, I can't believe this is crazy. And then so I did that trip. And then I'm trying to remember if I made what my second trip was, other than maybe some airport connections. I think I was up in like I went to a film festival one time, but I think I was more like in the Oakland area for that. I flew up from LA to San Francisco for 1 week. I didn't do a lot of sightseeing, and then I went with. I went like one night for like an awards show for a different Stitcher podcast awards. I went one night, and then I also was up there with Tyson 10 years ago that we went to the headquarters for a company called Blab, which was like a startup. And we used to do News AF on that platform. And we did a live edition of News AF in October of 2015. And I was there for maybe like 2 nights, one night. Yeah.
Okay, so you've like dropped in, like you've had like, but it's when you're here, are you like super slammed? Are you gonna like hit up any like tourist attractions? Are you looking for?
I would not say I'm super slammed. I mean my nights are busy, but Tuesday day I still have not figured out what I'm gonna do.
Okay, if you need recommendations, like I'm super down. Like I'd love to help. Like
yeah,
maybe offline. It doesn't have to be. Right
I would not mind seeing some things, but I also don't want to like. I have to like try to monitor my energy levels on these trips where I don't want to like overexert myself in the days and then be like very wiped out like when it's time to do the show.
So fair. Yeah, this is like you're here for work. If you need anything, just I'll I don't know.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And 2 other questions. San Francisco question. It was interesting to know that Well, first, there's a Tuesday Patron event. I heard
The
you say,
Tuesday
yeah.
night Patron meetup, and all that information is Derek still there? What is the link for the patrons to be able to? Sam, do you know what this is?
So yeah, I mean, I would go on Patreon. We sent out a post yesterday. That's like everything you need to know about San Francisco. All the information's there. I know we're putting this out publicly, so I don't want to say the location.
Yeah, but just say go on Patreon.
Yeah, that's
right on.
Mhm.
That's easy breezy.
It's fun. It's a much more low key event than Wednesday night. You actually get to talk to patrons, talk to any players that come. I do think we're actually gonna have a decent player turnout at that, from what I'm hearing. Podcasters will be there as well. That's 5 minutes, but I'll let you go on.
Okay.
Last question, like Rob, like what's this is gonna be the biggest live show ever?
I think this is going to be, in terms of attendance, from what Sam is telling me, that we are like teetering around 1,000 people. That we would love to.
That's amazing.
Love to break 4 digits.
That's so cool. I'm so proud.
Just interrupt. If we could get 13 more people, that'd be swell.
Oh, okay, interesting. I'll walk around and see if I can.
Yeah,
well, congrats
Sam is
on that.
gonna if push comes to shove, that Sam might invite 20 unhomed individuals to just mill around the back, just to
That's
get us
fine.
over
Yeah, we've got a
limit.
handful of those as well. But what do you think? Why is it San Francisco? Is it like the venue is large enough, or
it is the largest venue? We who knows, like on some of these other places where we've sold out, that potentially we could have gotten to this, but we have rarely had a venue that has this many seats.
Amazing. Well, I'll let you go. Really excited to.
Yeah.
say
What
hi
is
to
your
you, this
costume?
week.
What is this headpiece?
It's a unicorn, I suppose,
Unicorn.
and of course the Rob flannel, the throwback. OC, the OG, I guess. My daughter's 3, so we've got a lot of these. Just this is a daily thing, not just.
Okay. All right. Well, have fun with all the Halloween
Rob.
tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks so
all
much.
right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's keep the pace going because I do have to get to Halloween tonight also. David.
Hello. How are you, Rob?
Good, David. What's going on?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to the Blue Jays game tonight.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. Even though I don't care for Max Scherzer, I will be very happy for all my Canadian friends to walk away with the first World Series title, in 32 years?
Since 1993, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Good. I was there for the last ones.
Oh, damn. Really?
Mm-hmm. Not to date myself.
You guys, you gonna come to Toronto sometime?
Maybe.
When were you last year? 44?
I was actually in Toronto, but a year ago.
Oh,
right?
what?
No, or was it? Oh, it was like 2 years ago.
Year and a half.
Year and a half ago.
What was it? What for?
So I went to Marianne's wedding in Hamilton, Ontario, and then the year before we did the live show in Toronto during season 44.
Yeah, I was there. It was fun.
Yeah.
I think Carolyn played her idol. Yeah.
Carolyn played her idol. That's right.
I have a hot take. Not a hot take, I don't think.
I'll be the judge of that.
But I'm feeling a little bit. I don't want to be a little bit too optimistic about the new era. But I do kind of feel like people are being a little bit reactionary about how dire things are. And as someone who's been watching the show for a long time now, I do kind of feel like we've been through ups and downs before.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm to compare where we are at the end of the 40s to where we were at the end of the 30s, I don't really think it's that bad. I understand the criticisms and I get kind of the sameness of every season, but I don't really think that in some ways, I think the show might be in a healthier place now than it was 38, 39.
Is Survivor in a better place 30? That's an interesting question, David. And I will say that is a pretty good hot take because it's thought-provoking. And you could be right about that. I think that 38-39 going into 40, it was going to be a time we were headed into a period of great change on
definitely.
Survivor. But I think that also Survivor, I think, was having a bit of an identity crisis in terms of like what they wanted to do, especially at that particular point of time where it was a transitional time where Lynn Spillman had been the casting director for the show for all of those years. And then 37 into 38 was when they let her go. And so they didn't really have a grasp necessarily on what the casting should be in terms of those other shows. We were going into 40. And then whereas Survivor, I think, was in a bit of an identity crisis. And we had just come out of Survivor David versus Goliath, which was a very heralded season. It was a little bit of a show in transition, a show in an identity crisis. I would say that this is not a show in an identity crisis here.
I agree.
I think that this is a show that has landed on one identity. I think the trouble is we may not like the identity that the show has landed on. So what is better, for the show to be in an identity crisis of I don't know what I am versus this is what I am, but you don't like it.
But like 50 is going to be unlike any other season ever, just like format wise, like 24 players. It's going to be, I don't even know how they're going to do it.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot. It might not be good. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I do think that like, I think that they should have done All-Star season
has a
earlier,
clear identity of what it is and what it's trying to do. And so we will see for the first time a big All-Star season run through that lens.
And I feel like with like the casting of like divisive characters that like people want, I feel like
who's the divisive character that was cast?
Sorry, what I mean is that like I think people feel like everyone is so kumbaya. And I feel like a year ago, like Rome was on our TV and Twitter hated him. So I don't know like what we're I don't know. It's
at least you felt, and his cast still hates him. That it is at least you felt something. And I think that maybe if we're looking at the 50, Q is not kumbaya, Jenna Lewis is not kumbaya. Coach makes people feel things strongly.
Oh yeah. Oh, for 50. Yeah. No, I agree. I just think that like I think maybe, and I understand because like 48.
Emily Flippin hates Kumbaya Survivor.
But I just think maybe we're being like a little bit reactionary, and it's like
no doubt.
Like there should have been an All-Star season, like 47 or 48 could have been an All-Star season. But I feel like we're like 2 seasons off the pace. Like I don't feel like this is certainly compared to like 21, 22, 23, and 24.
Well,
I don't
David,
think that we're
thank you for keeping us in check. You may be on a Blue Jays high. That is possible. That everything is great in your world.
Everything's coming up. Yeah.
You are just like, Survivor. It's not that bad.
Yeah, who cares? Just have fun, guys.
As you are getting ready to drink champagne tonight. So
hopefully,
just keep that in perspective. But no,
it's a good point.
That was a very nuanced and also a very like grounded take.
I'm
and
trying.
I think that is something that we probably could use more of.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks, David. Okay. Bye. All right. Let me go. Okay. Let me go to Sari. Are you ready? Okay. All right. Sari, then Jared, then Harmony, then Nathan. Then I have to go trick-or-treating. Okay. Sari.
Hello, Robert.
How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
Yes.
Happy Halloween.
Tell me about what you are wearing.
Oh, well, my crown is off. I'm doing a couple's costume with my girlfriend, Queen of Hearts, and I'm the Queen of Spades.
Queen of Spades. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, hope everything is going well over there. I listened to Nicole Knows It All.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Cool. Oh, so you are listening to our podcast now.
Yes. Yes.
Everything is going amazing. Yeah. Blue Jays are playing tonight. Game 6. We're going dancing after that for Halloween. Yeah.
Unless,
been awesome.
Hopefully dancing after.
I think we'll be in a celebratory mood. Knock on wood.
All right. So
Go
what's
Jays.
going on?
Okay. So yeah, I'll keep it quick here, but I always do this where I draft a player and into my, personal team. And then as the season's going on, I'm like, the cards are stacked against them, but they're just like, they're my little puppy. Like they're my little, I'm like, they're on my team. So I'm rooting for them no matter what happens. So tell me if this is delusion or if this is, a little bit of an inclination based on past seasons. I think Jawan, who is on my team, is going to be our 0 vote finalist GOAT. Because of the like Owen, like Jake, because of the magnitude of edit he's receiving compared to, but it's kind of like Dodo-y. But we just don't see like the sacrificial lamb getting this type of edit. We don't see like Lydia in 42, Charity last season. You know, who else has there been? Jay Maya, like they kind of are in the background.
Yeah.
And so people have said Jawan's maybe the sacrificial lamb. Maybe it's
Mariah.
Sage now. Mariah, a perfect example. Mariah,
I think this is not a bad take. I think I could see Jawan being a losing finalist, potentially with 2 people from Uli tribe.
I mean, I feel like him saying Act 2 in the tribal council last episode really was like, why would they include that?
They showed us him saying Act 1. They showed us saying Act 2. This is Chekhov's 3-act structure. You know, if we got Jawan saying Act 1 and we got Jawan saying Act 2, you know we're getting a confessional to kick off the finale where Jawan talks about Act 3.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Act 3, or he'll talk about becoming the monster or something like that. Maybe he betrays a Rizzo or a Savannah. Because, I think in our minds, we think that the 50 people are slated for like final 3, but Tiffany wasn't, Q wasn't, Genevieve wasn't. A lot of the returnees are spoilers. Sorry if anyone isn't aware who's coming back. But yeah, so you think that's pretty, I'm rooting for him, and I'm finding it hard to consider swapping him off my team.
No, keep him. You've come this far.
Exactly. And Nicole kind of convinced me because I looked at her new era record. She's doing really well.
That was her winner pick, Jawan.
Exactly. And she, even though she only has 1 winner in the new era, she's placed pretty high in all the new era.
She has a sense. She's has a gift. I don't know how she does it, but she does.
Yeah. She puts numbers
on
the
board. She's great
board.
at picking winners. That's how she got me. Am I right?
Oh, there you go. Tell her that.
Right.
And one quick thing, I just want to actually thank you. You and Chappelle, your conversation on Club Condo, really enjoyed it. Particularly surrounding this most recent Club Condo, but the conversation surrounding how in 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or I should say seasons ago, we kind of focused more on commentating on the players. Yeah. And now we talk a lot about production. And I was like, that's a really apt point, because I think it bogs you down a little bit more into why are they doing this and why are they doing that? And it's something that I've noticed that I talk about when I'm talking about Survivor with friends is I like the 2 tribes better, and why aren't they swapping or whatever. But just to talk about the players, hey, these are the real humans. They're out there. And so I really enjoyed that conversation about how look, let's just talk about the players. That's what Survivor's all about. Yeah. That's what we have to commentate
It's
on.
everywhere. I mean, it's all over social media. It's every other podcast. It's a lot of production strategy talk. And it's just I just think it's weird because it didn't used to be that. And I just really was curious to know, how did we get here?
Yeah. I mean, your theories about the On Fire podcast, I think are a good, pretty accurate, that the curtain's been peeled back. So now we're able to dissect what's going on in the kitchen as opposed to the meal that's been served to us. We're seeing what the cooks are doing, and we're hey, why are you doing that? When the meal comes out a little bit soggy or overly salted. But anyway, I do. And I think it's great that we have a little bit more to sink our teeth into now with, the Sage and Shannon drama. But yeah, I think I want to thank you, because I want to shift my perspective a little bit on let's focus on, hey, this is what we got. And if we love Survivor, let's enjoy the people that we have.
Okay. All right, Sari, thank you so much. Good luck tonight. Okay.
Cheers. Happy Halloween.
Bye. My other theory on that is I just think that there's so much of that everywhere also, in terms of not to bring this too much into politics, but instead of you're not necessarily about talking to what the specific politician is doing, but it's also well, why is he doing this? What's going on with this? And so even just everybody's so smart now. Everybody knows so much of the back room dealings of everything, that everybody is just a little bit less focused on what's on the screen, but more about how the things get made. All right, let's talk to Jared.
What's going on, Rob?
How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm
yes,
here in my,
okay.
my Chef
I heard you let
costume.
Jordan Kalish cook.
Yeah, I did. And honestly, he was great. Jordan and Melanie, who's helping produce the LRG documentary, both came in and really did an amazing job helping out.
I didn't even know about the LRG documentary.
Oh yeah, they're making one. I don't have much more information, and it's not my project, so I don't want to say too much.
Don't
but,
scoop them. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to ask you a question about your time on the show. I've been doing that the last couple of weeks, and it's been a fun, thing for me. But I also I want to piggyback on this last thing, and I want to keep it quick, so I'll save my old question for next week. But I do want to offer an opinion. I think that a lot of the reason that the commentary on the show is about how the show is produced is because I think coming into the new era, the show started to be less Survivor and more a show about Survivor. Starting with the fact that they were showing us the cameras and all the production people and all that in 41 and a little bit in 42. And yeah, they did zoom out.
I think Sophie Clark is the first person that I really heard articulate this, of that this is the new era, is like these are theater kids who are doing a production of what Survivor is.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. It feels like Jeff and the rest of the production people are really keeping an eye on what Twitter and people are saying, and sometimes taking that into account and sometimes vocally pushing back on it. And, it really feels like it culminated into the point where Survivor 50, it's not in the hands of the fans, it's Survivor 50, you do it. That's really what it feels like they're saying to us. Like, oh, you think you can do this? Let's see what happens. And now they can either pat themselves on the back, be like, oh, all your ideas didn't work, our ideas work. Or if it does work, they can pat themselves on the back and be like, see, we gave you the option and we did this for you. So
I think another great example of what we're talking about is, like, we've seen this like multiple times in the new era, where the players talk about like, and then the montage starts, and they are talking about, like, it's so meta that everybody like knows exactly what's happening, where Shaheen is like knows what the music is going to be in this moment, and he's making the music himself because he knows what it's going to be. And it's cute, but it's also like maybe we've gone one step too far, where it's, I don't know if this is the Heisenberg principle of maybe like some science people are like, Rob, you're way off base here. But it's almost like that the thing that is most interesting to us is to sort of get but like the act of them knowing how observed they are has really changed the way that they are playing this game.
Absolutely agree. I just want to say thank you. I want to say congratulations on 1,000 tickets for San Francisco. That's amazing. Really quick, tomorrow night we have Sol and Ethan on Outlaugh, and
nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jared. Okay, take care. Bye. All right, let me say hi to Harmony and then Nathan. Harmony.
Yes, hello, Rob.
Did you make your video?
Going fast. I did. I still have to edit it. I'm going to try and edit it today and send it off, hopefully, fingers crossed. Thanks for asking. Yes. But we are on a time crunch. I'm going to get you out there and to the candy.
You don't need to race. You're fine.
Firstly, TGIF. I will always want to put that out there, TGIF. Secondly, okay, one thing, an anecdote I want to say that's funny is the people who do not watch everything live. I can't because my brother's in the living room where I would usually watch it, so I have to watch it the next day on Paramount Plus. And usually I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I'm not getting all the chat BCC things coming in and spoiling it for me. And foolishly, the next day I turned it off. And as I was watching, because everyone stopped talking about it, it was like 12 p.m. the next day. And as the scene with the swap was happening, I get a notification of Mike Bloom's parade article.
It's always Mike Bloom.
Always at the scene of the crime, Mike Bloom. And I was like, I know
Mike
you're
Bloom.
joking.
I can't tell you how many times, just like Mike Bloom has spoiled. Forget it. If you watch Australian Survivor.
Oh my, yeah.
It's like 1 second after the episode is over. It's like, watch this scene of the person getting voted out.
Literally on Blue Sky, that actually happened with Australian Survivor as well, versus The World. I got the winner spoiled by Mike Bloom. Question.
Mike doesn't have any chill, okay?
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my
Yeah.
fault. I should stay off Blue Sky.
Maybe you shouldn't be on. Maybe you shouldn't be online following Mike Bloom if you don't want to get spoiled on stuff.
Right. Everyone remember to mute your chat BCC. But other than that, I was curious. Maybe you already talked about this. I didn't finish watching your interview with Marianne. But why won't they tell you exactly how hot it is in Fiji?
I wonder if it's maybe one of these things where the number is not as impressive as it feels oppressive. Where is it like 103?
That's what I think.
But maybe is it that the humidity is 99%? I just wonder if it's like one of these things where it maybe feels hotter than it actually is, and that's why they don't say it.
I feel like they should just, because that's what I suspect.
Or maybe for the Canadian audiences, they don't want to say it's like, oh, it's 110 Fahrenheit, and they're like, what is that? I don't know.
Yeah, but they used to. There are times in the past where they said exactly how hot it was in Fahrenheit, and you know what? This is American Survivor technically, because I think in Samoa they've been like, oh, it's Celsius, and I'm like,
it's 38 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, and I'm like, nod, Siri, tell me how much that is. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because they can also just say, oh, and the humidity is 200%. And I'd be like, whoa, the humidity is high, even though the temperature isn't. But I don't think I know that they're showing like Jeff being like, oh my God, and he snapped a little bit. Is that just me? He was like, this is not a joke.
Yeah, the hottest period, December to April, which is when they filmed this. Temperatures are warm with average highs around 85 to 88 degrees Fahrenheit, which does not sound that high. But maybe it's just so humid.
Then they can tell us what the humidity is.
Maybe it was 95 degrees and super humid.
Am I crazy? I feel like they could say
know.
the humidity is 97%. And I feel like we'd all go, I don't know what that means, but that sounds terrible. But they're just not telling us.
If they said it was like 94 degrees, like 94 degrees, come on.
Yeah, I'd say it's 94 degrees, but the humidity is what's really taking people out. And I would nod and I go, oh, I believe it. But I think it's suspicious that they're not telling us how hot it is.
Yeah.
He's just saying it feels hot. But that's it.
It's a fair point.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got you out the door. I did everything I think that I needed to. And yeah, it's nice to see you again, Rob, as always.
Great to see you. All right,
Got my
Harmony,
witch
take care.
hat. Bye.
Looks good. All right, bye. Okay, and then let me go to Nathan. Okay, another Where's Waldo? We have a match.
Oh, I missed the beginning.
Reed earlier.
Oh, very nice.
Nathan's like, damn it, Reed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Nathan,
yeah,
what's happening?
If this came up earlier, I can switch topics. But
if you ask something that we already talked about, I'll just hang up on you abruptly.
Okay,
and
I would understand.
And then curse about your bad question.
Okay, as long as Reed didn't do it, I'll be okay.
Okay. Are you going to give out the Snakey Award?
Oh, well, actually, kind of, yeah, because that's someone who didn't do something, and that's my question. We know it worked out for Steven, but shouldn't he have just played his shot in the dark?
I guess that's fair, but I feel like in the 4-person vote, I think that maybe his vote was important. So if he is one of the votes for, like, if they're not sure, maybe if they've had some thoughts that maybe could Joanne potentially be voting for him, maybe maybe if he thinks that maybe is Shannon lying to me and she's actually going to vote for me and not Joanne, I think it's maybe a little too cute to play the shot in the dark. I think that he's probably better off making sure there's at least 2 votes that are going to be on Shannon.
Mm-hmm. I guess, this might have to do with, we were talking, I know it was up earlier, how, was it going to be a fire making or picking rocks? But
I think it would be picking rocks. It would not be fire making in the pre-merge 2-2 tie.
Yeah, because if that was the case, I can't see a 2-2 split happening really reasonably. I think Steven has to know, either
not in that particular
people
instance.
Are with me,
in
or...
Survivor 42, there was a situation where started with the V tribe. Mike Turner's tribe went to tribal council, and Mike Turner had lost his vote, and then also Chanel had lost her vote. and Daniel Strunk and Chanel voted for Lydia or Jenny. I think they voted for. I think they voted for
Lydia and then gave up because Strunk didn't want to go.
And so basically that that Daniel and High would have had to pick rocks.
Yeah, I mean more. I think the producers would, but I don't think Steven should be counting on like, okay, Jawan's gonna go to rocks for me. I think you have to think it's 3-1.
I think he felt like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure Sage has been talking about, I want to vote out Shannon all this time. So if at least I'm going to put 2 votes on Shannon, probably Jawan is going to be the 3rd vote on Shannon. So especially because she's talking about she wants to throw him under the bus. So I think that was a sound move to actually just write down Shannon's name and not play the shot in the dark.
Okay.
I think that was the safer move.
Okay. I'm more of the mind, just like use the shot in the dark the first time you feel anything. Because I mean, I think basically everyone who's gone out like just should have. I don't think any of them were given an opportunity, like a scenario that made it feel like they should have.
Yeah.
But also, speaking of tiebreakers, do you think they should go back to past votes counting as the first? I think it would add very interesting dynamics where all of a sudden people would, I think, play it a lot more.
And is also shot in the dark in the game because I think that maybe it's a little bit more of like, are you gonna write my name down? Like, it's interesting.
Yeah. And with the shot in the dark, you could have it where a 0 votes on everyone. It's just whoever got the most in past ones. I think just opening it up, it may be something where the scenario never comes up, but I think the like paranoia of knowing I have past votes would grow.
I think the show likes the fact that, yes, there would be some more drama around the past votes, but I think the show likes the fact that there could be a potential rock draw. They like all of those sort of like tribal council maneuvering tie-break scenarios where Cedric has to change his vote. I think they like all that stuff as opposed to it being a little bit more clean. Well, this person has 3 previous votes, so they're going to go home.
I can definitely see that, yeah. And there still would be the times where it does have to go to that if no one had been voted for. But
definitely get rid of trivia as the second tiebreaker.
I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Nathan, thank you so much. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
No
take
problem.
Care. Bye. All right. This might have been the longest patron Q&A for Sam. What do you think? Is this the longest one from Survivor 49?
It's close, but honestly, I feel like we've gotten over 2.5 some of these weeks.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it moving.
There you go. I got to go trick or treat, everybody. Thanks, Sam. Did I forget anything?
See you in San Francisco.
See you in San Francisco. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye. This is RHAP. We know reality TV.